Hello and greetings, or should that be season's greetings? Um, if someone can just let me know if the audio is working here. I haven't used this setup since last December, and I am kind of being a bit lazy, and I'm using the laptop's microphone, so I don't know if this is sounding okay. If someone would be kind enough to let me know, that would be very much appreciated. And this, okay, I see here, audio is good. Excellent. Thank you so much. Now, excuse me, there's the first burp. This will be a very much interactive type of show. I will post the link should anyone wish to join in momentarily. So this is essentially a practice run to see if things are working okay in order to do these Christmas live stream parties that we've done for the past couple of years. And I am just finding my way again. I'm really out of the loop as far as these live streams are concerned. And StreamYard appears to have changed slightly. So I'm not quite sure if I can get everything working, but we'll do our best as always. And once we get some people on, as I said, link will come up momentarily. We may even look at an old catalogue again, which seemed to be something that was quite popular. And I will be very fair this time, because previously I've always been rather selfish in that I've chosen to look at catalogues from the 80s that I looked at in the 80s and kind of ignored everything from 86 onwards. So in order to be fair, because I do know that in most cases I am on the older end of things as far as this scene is concerned. So there will be people who are watching who are still playing with and enjoying toys in 87, 88, 89, etc. And I tend to not really look at those catalogs because I wasn't playing with toys then. But today we will look at a catalog from those later years in the 80s. And already we've got a lot of chat. And the banner along the bottom, let me explain this. Now, most of you watching this will not be aware of this. Members of my Patreon know about this. Now, back in 2019, when I had to go back to Scotland to sadly clear out my parents' house for the last time, I found a cassette that just was labelled The Major Family. And I had a vague idea of what might be on that cassette. But one, I didn't feel strong enough to listen to it. And two, I had no tape player. So it's been sat here for over 4 years now. But during Amazon's Prime Day sale, I got hold of a little tape player. And I listened to this tape. And trust me, this video will go to YouTube very soon. But I listened to the tape and I heard the voices of 4-year-old me, my mom, my dad, my grandma, and granddad. And this was such an overwhelming experience. Really quite overwhelming, to be honest. But within this tape, there are many sound clips of me singing, 4 years old. And this was actually in 1978. So I've made 3 so far. I've made 3 little short videos. So should anyone be kind enough to send in a super chat, you can choose which one of these videos you want to see. So we have me butchering Jingle Bells, me singing the Bee Gees, and me singing Ba Ba Black Sheep, as if I was the one who invented speed metal. I am not kidding. But as I said, this video where I listened to this tape for the first time will go out to YouTube probably next week. It's an edited version because it is the original is rather long. That's on Patreon, but you will get an edited version, and it is quite something to hear yourself when you're 4 years old, but also to hear all your relatives who have long gone. It was truly wonderful. But there's a lot of chat here. I will try and catch up with this chat, and then we can put the link up and we can maybe have a party here. So the first comment came from Stephen, it's a nice surprise. Okay, thank you, Stephen. And Oztrack is coming in from Canada. Greedo in a Speedo is here. Good to see you. Local Hero 1983. These streams are an annual staple. Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. I'm not going to lie. Last year I did them. I actually only ended up doing two, I think, because the turnout was rather poor, which was quite disappointing. But hopefully we can get things picking up this year. Charles says, yeah, and yeah, back to you. Rich is here. Good to see you, Rich. It's an 88 Christmas, and our very own Monkey Boy is here. Good to see you. Ryan Potter, also another regular. Good to see you. Audio's fine, thank you. Audio good. Tim is here. Good to see you, Tim. And if anyone is watching this right now and is maybe not aware, Tim does a really good chill stream every Wednesday at, I think it's 4 p.m. East Coast, which I'm guessing is 9 p.m. UK and 1 p.m. West Coast. So check that out. Greedo's saying audio is good. Thank you. As does Local Hero. Tim is saying hi to Monkey. So Monkey Boy also appears with Tim every Wednesday. Sounds good. Christmas has officially started. Yeah. Well, for me, it started on Thursday. So full disclaimer, because I wasn't born in America, Thanksgiving doesn't mean a whole lot to me. So that's the day I use to put up the Christmas decorations. And we're still not finished. We have a space here for the real tree, like the small one. So they began selling them yesterday, but I think it's a bit too early to buy it because by the time Christmas comes around, that thing is going to be dead. But there we go. The most festive setup. Oh, thank you, Blake. I appreciate that. Tim. Local Hero is telling Monkey Boy he loves his mask. Yeah, we love the mask reviews. Absolutely. Tactical Defense, good to see you. And good to see you. Adrian is saying hi. Hi to you, Adrian. Thanks, Local Hero. Hello, Local Hero and Adrian James. Monkey Boy, thank you. Okay. Monkey Boy has chosen Ba Ba Black Sheep. Now, just to reiterate, the audio is from a tape that I found at my parents' house that was recorded in 1978. So I was 4 years old. And this, if I get it here, this is my rendition of Ba Ba Black Sheep as picked by Monkey Boy. Here we go. There you go. That was me singing Ba Ba Black Sheep in 1978. Wonderful, right? I hope you enjoyed that, Dave, and thank you so much. Very kind of you. Local Hero saying hi to Tim. Hello to Tim. Tim is very popular tonight. So Tim is reiterating, yes, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, and 9 p.m. UK. And as the name suggests, it is a chill stream. It's very relaxed and fun. And I think it's maybe by invite only now, because previously they had the open invite, which I'll be doing shortly. But there were some real idiots that ruined things. So I guess if you're a friend of Tim, you can get the link to join in. And if not, just watch it. Will is here. Morning from in New Zealand. Yep, nice to see you, Will. It must be early for you, I would imagine. Scary talk. Ha ha ha. There we go. There is a good punk song in there somewhere. Yeah. I'm thinking 78. So punk. When did punk really take off? I think the Pistols, was that 78 for the Sex Pistols? Someone can let me know. Blake is saying, Dean, you need to record a metal version of Ba Ba Black Sheep with your own metal music with the old recording. Yeah. Actually, that one happened for a while. You can't see it because my normal videos are filmed over there. and we're missing the monitors, the keyboard, the interface. That's all gone. The bass is gone. My green guitar is about to go. I am keeping my white one, so I cannot make any music at the moment. We'll get to there. We'll get there hopefully in a few months' time. Oh, so it's 9 in the morning for Will. That's not too bad at all, actually. Interesting. Tim is saying, to greetings to Skeletalk and welcome to All Things 80s Build Up to Christmas Show live stream. Well, thank you, Tim. So if you give me, so I'm thinking if I covered the groundwork here, so this is a test run to make sure things are going to be okay to do the live stream Christmas parties. Now I'm thinking, due to Mrs. 88's schedule, I can only do these on either a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday. And depending on what time we pick, let me know in the comments what day you think was the best to have these parties. I can do it any of the three. So that's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Please do let me know. Now, if I think I copy this link, and then if I post a comment, right, so I've posted the link. Now I want to pin this so that anyone wishing to join can do so. But the problem I'm having on the YouTube page is that when I try to hover over the 3 buttons to pin it, I get this option to send love hearts. Does this actually work? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, just going to give it a few moments and then I can pin that to the top. Blake is saying here, Dean, was it a few years ago when you did a Christmas live about once a week for many weeks? Am I remembering you did them all month and had about 4 or 6? Okay, the first year, let me think about this. Okay, I can pin this to the top. I think that's pinned, yeah. So the first year, I think, was 2020, where I did a video every day for the 10 days prior to Christmas. That was one video a day. That was the countdown to Christmas, where I think I took every year of the decade of the 80s and showcased the top 10 singles. I think the comic books specials, Christmas specials, the popular toys of that year, and maybe magazine covers from that particular year. And then the next year would have been 21, and I had 4 live streams, 1 a week. And then in 2022, which was last year, I did 2. I got a bit disheartened, to be honest, and stopped. So I'm testing the waters here to see if it's going to pick up again. So did that link post or not? I don't know. I think it did. Max Video says, ho ho ho, happy Christmas to you. Although, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really feel like Christmas yet. It's come around so quickly that it kind of took me by surprise, and I'm not fully engaged in Christmas mode yet, I have to be honest. So yeah, in fact, it's all gone a bit dead here, to be honest. I don't know if that link posted or not. I hope there's some Baileys in the drink. Well, actually, you know what? I'm still not convinced that Baileys works for me. When we went to Thailand back in, I even forget when it was now. I think it was May of this year. I drank Baileys on the plane, and I was violently sick when we had to change planes in Jordan and I'm putting it down to the Bailey. So no, this is just beer. I have something else should I run out. But yeah, Bailey's quite delicious, but I think it upset my stomach. Ryan has given a very kind super chat. He has requested Jingle Bells. So, Jingle Bells you shall have. Again, if anyone is new who's just jumped in, this is me from 1978 butchering Jingle Bells.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells.
There you go. Jingle Bells, as sung by me. I don't know why I was so sad sounding, but yeah. I got to be honest, hearing that little boy crying like that brought a tear to my eye. Quite emotional to hear that. Monkey Boy is going to jump in a second. He's going to pour a large sherry. Excellent. I got to buy some sherry, actually. I always buy sherry in order to make my sherry trifle for Christmas. But last year, I bought the sherry, say, circa December 15. And by the time Christmas Eve rolled round, when I was making the trifle, the sherry was all gone. I had to go out and buy another bottle. But there they go. That's how it works. That's how things roll around here. Retro Toy Guy Sai is here. Fantastic. Another channel I urge you all to subscribe to. I will have a video, I think, this week showing some very nice, generous gifts that Sai sent all the way from Holland. G is saying, great to have you back live, Dean. Your Xmas shows are excellent and are becoming a real tradition for me. Oh, thank you. That means a lot. And is that Aston Villa? My eyes aren't doing too well. If that is indeed Villa, let me know how John McGinn is getting on, because you guys bought him from my team. Tim says, how cute. Hello to Retro Guy Sai. And Ryan likes it. Okay. And saying hi to Tim. Evening, Dean. Christmas ain't Christmas without the live streams. Keep on. Oh, thank you. That is fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm going to bring on someone in just 1 second. Monkey Boy, as it happens, saying hi to Retro Toy Guy Sai. Blake says, haha, that reminds me of the Howard Stern recordings of him singing and his dad saying, shut up, sit down. Yeah, honestly, these tape, or this one tape I found, it was just fantastic to listen to. And I listened to the whole thing, and clearly prior to us as a family recording, someone had recorded the chart countdown on a Sunday. And from listening to that on side B, I was able to ascertain that this came from 1978, because the charts that were being played was the charts, I think it was like late July of 78. And then I'm guessing it was December of that year that we recorded that tape. Just popping by for a bit before bedtime. Yeah, because am I right in saying that Holland is an hour ahead of the UK, which means it's already after 9 for you? Tim is laughing. Oh, I missed Seth is here. Good evening, Seth. It's the mighty Villa Dean McGinn, club captain, excellent player. Good to hear it. Glad to hear that. Now, I'm trying to remember if I had a ringtone for this or not. We do. There's someone at the door. Who is it? It's Monkey Boy.
Hello.
Hello there.
How are you doing, man?
Good, thanks. Oh, it's still going. Are you still pressing that button or what? What am I doing wrong here? Okay, there we go. Excellent. He's taking
Did I come in now?
Oh, there we go.
And early season's greetings to you, sir. I've got my sherry.
Likewise.
It's good to see you, man. I didn't put my Santa hat on today.
No,
I thought I'd leave that until next month.
Yeah, this is the pre-Christmas. It's not even December yet. It was just testing things again, because it's been a while since I ran, multiple things at one time, and I didn't know if I was still capable, but it seems to be working okay, except for the fact that I let the doorbell ring a lot longer after the fact that I'd already answered the door. So that was a bit of a fail, but we can get past that.
Tree's looking good, Dean.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Nicely done.
It was the usual case whereby, as I said earlier, I think Thanksgiving doesn't mean a whole lot to me, having never grown up with it. So that's an excuse to decorate the tree. It's also an excuse to have a damn good drink. And when doing so, for example, this one, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is something from my childhood, and it's this tin, like it's a bauble. It's like a rugby ball shaped.
Okay.
And this is something my mom put round it, this tinsel to hang it with. So when doing this kind of thing, it does get to be slightly emotional.
Yeah.
And same with some of the old baubles that still have the spray snow that I applied back in like 1980 or something.
Yeah.
A lot of the memories do come flooding back. And but yeah, we're still not finished because they only began selling the real trees yesterday, but I wouldn't buy a real tree at this early stage because by the time you get to December, it's going to be dried.
Yeah.
There's going to be pine needles everywhere. So
Tell me, Dean, your Star Wars Black Series festive editions, do you keep those with your Christmas decorations, or do you keep them with your rest of your toys?
those are kept in the decorations box. Those
Good
are
choice.
those are not toys. As it happens, I only have the two of them. So they call it protocol droid, but to me, this is C-3PO, and this is the stormtrooper. In fact, I think I can. No, I was going to try and be flashy and switch camera. I don't know if I can do that successfully or not. Let me. Maybe I can. Aha! Yes.
Wow,
So
look at that.
see, this is C-3PO with his Christmas attire,
Cool.
which is pretty cool. And the stormtrooper. I only chose figures that were from the original Star Wars trilogy because they do many from the, I guess, sequel trilogies and what all the, what do you call them, the TV shows and whatnot. They're of no interest to me, so I only wanted the ones that I remembered as a kid.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people hate these, and I get that, but I think they're pretty cool. It's quite unique. It's a nice decoration.
Yeah, they fit in with the whole Christmas color scheme, don't they?
Yeah, and as I said, I keep them with the decoration. I don't look at them throughout the year because why would I?
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, the Stormtrooper has a Christmas sweater that appears to have an X-wing and an AT-AT into the design.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's a pretty high tech printing on these figures.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. So Oztrack is asking, do I have any unique or odd Christmas traditions? Not really. If I could, I would like to receive a little bag of chocolate coins every year because that was something I remember as a kid. I always remember in the stocking there would be chocolate coins, a Satsuma orange, and a 50 pence piece.
Yeah, I used to get the chocolate coins, the Satsumas, and a bag of mixed nuts.
Yeah.
In the shell.
Yeah. In fact, I distinctly remember when the switch happened because I'm going to guess here, aged, say, 3 to 5, I had a very small stocking, and that would contain the Satsuma, the chocolate coins, the 50 pence, and maybe I don't know, a couple of pencils or something.
Mm-hmm.
But then the trend was to go to plastic sacks.
Yeah.
And these things were enormous. And some of the actual gifts would end up in that.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I'm not sure about this because for me, I hate when the last gift gets opened because that means it's all over. And the
Oh.
fact that there were so many big gifts in this plastic sack made me feel like Christmas was being a little bit rushed, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
Oh.
as far as traditions go, I mean, not really. Just the dinner I make and the trifle, of course. I guess those are traditions. But tactical defense comments. It wouldn't be Christmas without 8080s. I've watched your Xmas live streams from the beginning. I've just changed my name. My old name was Mark Gilds. Oh, okay, Mark. I remember you. Retro Target says, yes, the seasonal pre-December Xmas stream. Yeah. I don't even think we did a in fact, no, we didn't because last year I was in Thailand until November 28 or something. I think we came back and I picked up all my packages. And I think Monkey Boy, you came on for an unboxing stream.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that. And then we were into December and we did 1, we did 2, and then I think Scott from CFCB Unlimited came on to discuss 3D printing. And then it just suddenly it was Christmas and it was all over. So yeah. But thank you, Sai. Dean, do you have any of the fresh Monkey Fiction Santa Claus line? I don't know what that means. Dave? Fresh Monkey Fiction Santa Claus.
Don't know what that is. No.
I don't know.
Sorry,
Tim
Blake.
is saying,
It sounds cool there.
yeah, I thought that was Boba Fett at first, but it's a green storm. Yeah, this is a green stormtrooper. Yeah, I was attracted by the colors, to be honest.
He looks cool.
Yeah.
I look really jaundiced on this camera, don't I? Let me see if I can rectify that with my ring light. See if that makes it. Oh, my Christ.
Oh.
Oh, that's better. Now I look like a moon.
Yes.
Let's see if I can adjust that. Is that better? That's slightly better, isn't it?
Yeah. So Seth is saying, talking about a damn good drink, I'm having a great beer here. A blonde, is it Leffe? Anybody familiar with this beer? I'm not. But
yes, I have seen it.
So Leffe is nice. On the La Chouffe blonde beer here. A lot of beer connoisseurs here. La Chouffe, great beer. You can't beat Belgium beer, can you? Okay, well, that's all very fancy for me because I'm a very simpleton. I'm drinking Coors Light. Biker Scout is here. An evening to you, sir. Good evening, Biker Scout. So I remember that huge unboxing stream last November. I was so envious of all these wonderful items you're. Oh, thank you. Yeah, although I think the mail station here were slightly annoyed at me because they actually had all my stuff out on the floor of the shop because they didn't have enough room behind the counter, and I felt terrible about that. But I did bring them back some nice cookies, so I guess that made everything okay. In fact, here's a funny story for you. It's not actually funny at all. So I got an email from Lego because this all happened way before the All Things 80s channel, but I was a very avid Star Wars Lego collector. Although I only focused on the original trilogy, but I had a ton of Star Wars Lego. And from that, plus the Optimus Prime that I have, and the various Christmas sets, I had acquired a good number of points. And I got an email from them saying, unless you redeem your points by December, whenever, you will lose them. I thought, well, I'm going to buy something. So I opted for this year's Christmas set. And at checkout, I put in the mail station address because I don't want the box to lie outside the front door because of porch pirates.
Hmm.
So I use my points, I place the order, all's good. Half an hour later, I get an email. We've cancelled your order because we do not ship to third-party addresses. I'm like, what?
Oh,
So I'm like, okay, let me order again. I'll have it shipped here and take my chances. So I go in, I try to apply the points to redeem, and it says these points have already been redeemed.
oh, what?
Like, you bastards. So I thought, you know what? No, I will not let this lie. So I wrote to Lego and said, look, I placed an order and I used my mailing or my mailbox address because there's an issue with porch pirates. I tried to reorder and my points have disappeared. What is going on? So they wrote back and said, oh, we're very sorry. We do not ship to third party addresses, but under the circumstances, we'll refund your points and double them.
Oh,
Ooh. So then I thought,
no.
excellent. So I went back into Lego's website, reordered, and for the shipping address, I used the house address here and put on the second line side door, meaning the postman should come to the side door and leave it there rather than the front door that can be seen by anyone walking past. I
Yeah.
thought, okay, everything's good here. We're going to be okay. So then I'm tracking it on my phone. I think, oh my God, Lego has used Lasership. Now, in America, Lasership are the absolute worst. I
Okay.
think possibly like Hermes in the UK.
Okay.
The same sort of reputation. I thought, oh, good Lord. So I'm
Oh,
tracking it every sort of 10 minutes because I don't trust Lasership at all. So I'm tracking it. It says delivered. Excellent. So I go to the side door. It's not there. I think, oh no. I go to the front door. There it is, sitting at the front door. And it
oh,
says on the goddamn sticker, side door, but I got it.
oh,
And here it is here. So I began building it, but oh, yeah, it's massive. I don't know how well you can see that.
oh, wow.
So it's an alpine lodge,
Yeah.
but believe it or not, other finger, hey, that is an outdoor loo, complete with a roll of toilet paper.
Really? Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've only built the first two bags yet, but it was essentially free because of all the points I had, plus the fact that they doubled up the points. But I'm thinking, what
That
is
was
the
cool.
point? What is the point in having
That was a nice twist. That was a nice
nice
twist in the
twist?
middle of the story.
But what is the point in having a mailbox address if Lego won't ship to it?
Yeah.
Bizarre. Ah, Tom is here. Good to see you, Tom. We really enjoyed chatting with you last time. That was a good fun show we had.
Yeah. Hello, Tom.
Uh, what was your and Monkey Boy's most memorable Christmas gift? Ah, go ahead, Monkey Boy.
Um, well, I had a few memorable ones, but the one that really stands out to me for an unfortunate reason is the Transformers Dinobot Snarl.
Ah,
Now, I got him for Christmas, was very, very happy. Um, got him out, transformed him back again, left him in his Dinobot state, sat him on the carpet,
mm-hmm.
forgot about him immediately,
Yeah.
and then sat on him and broke
Oh,
his tail.
ah,
So that was a memorable gift because I broke it within about 10 minutes.
boy.
I still have it and it's fixed. It
Yeah,
was
good.
repairable, but
Right.
nevertheless, that sort of sticks out as quite a memorable one. How about
Yeah.
you, Dean?
Well, I think I've probably mentioned this before, but for me, some of the biggest standouts were prior to really understanding the concept of Santa and writing a letter saying what you wanted. So when you were so young, you kind of just got given gifts that people thought you might like. And in most cases, those are my favorite gifts because
Right.
trust me on this, I didn't know that Corgi made a Batmobile, Batboat, and Batcopter, or for that matter, Spider-Man's little Jeep with the wrench holding the bag with the Green Goblin. Those were gifts that were just given to me. I didn't ask for those. Likewise, Mascotron from the $6 Million Man. Those ended up being some of my favorites that I didn't know what they were prior to Christmas, but having received them, absolutely loved them. So I
Cool.
think there's something to be said for the fact that once you're old enough to write a letter to Santa, that's when things maybe go downhill slightly because you kind of know what to expect.
Right.
Whereas from ages, I don't know, 3 until 5 or 6, you kind of just got given something, and for the most
Yeah.
part, those were the best gifts.
Yeah.
Just a regular gamer asks, by the way, have you seen the new Galaxy Squadron AT-AT? It looks sick. I have not. Monkey Boy?
No, I haven't, but I shall look that up.
Don't know that one
Um,
at all.
I do like an AT-AT. I don't have room for any more AT-ATs. I've already got 3.
Yeah. So Sai is off to bed. Have a good one. I'll catch up with you next time. Well, thank you, Sai.
See
Yep.
you later, Si. Sleep well,
Maybe,
man.
yeah, I'm thinking for Christmas we can maybe do them a bit earlier so we can accommodate you a bit better because I'd love to have you on. Oops. Vintage Toy Theatre. Hello. Any plans to head down to Graceland for the holidays? Aha. Funny you should mention that. Yes. Not only are there plans, there are concrete plans.
Uh-huh.
December 12 until 14. So they were doing a special whereby if you took their package, so it's 2 nights at the Graceland or guest house at Graceland, and that includes the Christmas tour and a free ornament, although they do stress 1 ornament per room. Fortunately, we are living in the same house, so the 1 ornament will be shared. But imagine if you went with a friend and they only give you 1 ornament, but in the grand scheme of things, not a big deal. But yes, I figured this is like now or never, and I would love to see the classic 70s decorations that go up every year, and particularly looking forward to just seeing everything all decorated and how it was, back in the sort of, I guess, early 70s. I think in the living room, they have the white Christmas tree with the red lights and red baubles, and it does look rather nice, actually. I am thinking that once we finally move, I would like a white Christmas tree. I've never had a white Christmas tree.
Oh. Have you got 2 up at the moment?
No, just the 1, because I'm not going to buy.
Of course, you're waiting for the live one.
Maybe give it 10 days or so, because I think if you were to buy a real tree today, and they are selling them today, that thing's going to be dead by December 20 or something.
Yeah.
Dean's holiday live streams, Chris. Yep. Tree Theodore. Oh, thank you for stopping by. Cool. An 88 live stream. Thank you, Tree. Dean's holiday live streams. The Christmas season has officially started. Well, thank you. Last year, during the Christmas live streams, there were interesting guests like CFCB and Stan Solo. Oh, yeah. How can I forget Chris? Will he be coming back? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Stan Solo will be a thing for much longer. I think he kind of indicated he's kind of had enough. And I don't blame him, because some of the flack he gets is quite untoward, but we'll see.
Oh, that's a shame to hear.
Yeah. Biker Scout recently bought my first mask vehicle since the 80s. So for my Christmas. Jackhammer, good choice.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yep. Good work.
Subbuteo Stadium Edition 1980. Oh, nice. I only had the, I think my set was from the European final, where I think it was France versus Germany, and the German keeper broke someone's jaw. I don't know if that makes sense or not. That wouldn't be Harold Schumacher, was it? But I think there was some controversy whereby the German goalkeeper came charging out and smashed the French player, I think. But that was the Subbuteo set I had.
I never. I had Subbuteo when I was
Yeah,
younger, but it was given to me by the older brother of a friend I had, and
right.
I didn't actually know how to play it. I know it sounds
Huh,
stupid, but
yeah.
how do you actually play it? Are you supposed to flick the men with your fingers, or
I think you get 3 flicks per time. So you flick, so you can like pass once, pass again, and then shoot for goal. I think
okay,
maybe there's more
okay,
experts watching this can confirm or not, but yeah, I think it was a case of 3 flicks per shot type of thing.
okay? Perhaps I'll
Yeah,
look it up on YouTube to see people actually doing it because whenever I played it, I would flick the little player and the ball would just shoot straight off the pitch. I never really
yeah,
knew how to do it
yeah.
properly.
I mean, I think there was quite a bit of skill involved, to be honest.
Right.
Um, but yeah, but Subbuteo was fun. Kenny is saying he didn't got a 3 a.m. start, so we'll catch up with the stream. Have a good. Well, thank you, Kenny. Hello, Biker Scout. Um, Still got my old Corgi Batmobiles. Still love. Oh yeah, fantastic toy. Biker says hi to Tim. Tim says hello to Tree. Tree says hello to Tim. Joe DeBecky's here. Good to see you, Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Um, did Jackhammer have the turret gun? Yeah, I guess it popped up, didn't it? Jackhammer.
I think he's asking about the
Oh,
there
Volcano.
was a separate no, there was a separate gun that came with Jackhammer that used to fit inside the back,
Mm-hmm.
and you would take it out and then clip it to the top. It was like an
Oh,
anti-aircraft gun.
was that
Um, it,
behind
it
the wheel well or something?
kind of
Was
it's sort of underneath when you would press the button,
uh-huh.
the bumper in the back would shoot up.
Yeah.
There's a turret gun that sits underneath that you
Ah,
take
okay.
out manually, and
Right.
then you pop it into the gunner's seat at the top.
Right.
But it's
I
often
see.
missing. When you
Ah,
find
yeah.
them on eBay, it's often
Yeah.
missing.
Yeah. I think mine does have it. I think it was like it had a small inlay it would sit inside, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Tim says hi to Joe. Joe is happy. Hey there to Tim. A couple of years ago, I was pleasantly surprised by my grandma that gave me a very nice 66 Batmobile. That is a fantastic gift. Nice.
Oh,
I hope Stan Solo changes his mind. It seems like he threatens to quit every time he gets upset. Yeah, I mean, it's understandable. Hi, all. Oh, Gerard's good to see you checking and jumping back to the beginning. Well, no, Gerard, just watch from this point on and you can watch the beginning. It was just me waffling, to be honest. Hello there. Stan Solo stopping the production of figures. Damn, that's the first I've heard from this. What's happened? Well, he just mentioned in a recent post that I think he's got the Luke Skywalker Dagobah and the Vader with the helmet, and those might be the end of things, which is it's unfortunate, but I can understand his perspective.
oh.
Not getting enough pre-orders on some of his upcoming, yeah, true. I know the incident, Dean, regarding France and Germany. Horrific challenge. Don't think the German keeper even got a yellow card. Wow. Okay. I
Right.
yeah. Uh, Saying hi to Tim. Mascotron was one of my favorites. Love the playability. Oh yeah, absolutely. Hi Tim. Will is saying Xmas back in the day was when all the new toys came out. I missed that, as you didn't know until you went to your toy shop what was new. Best for me in '78 when I first saw Star Wars. That must have been a real treat to see that. Local hero, yeah, it was complete in box and great condition. A good find. So I think the link to join this is at the top because I do have to take a break. Dave, are you able to tell a quick story for a couple of minutes or?
Um, I, I I don't know, but I've got to stand by Slang dictionary.
Oh, please, yes. If you can just give me 2 minutes, I will quickly return. I do apologize for this. So all yours, please go ahead.
Right, let's have a look. I can't actually read it because I haven't got my glasses on. Okay. Okay, no, that's awful. Jam. We've got jam in the Slam dictionary. A party, a sex act, a sexual partner, the vagina, or a car. There we go. That's what jam means. Next one. No, I can't say that one. That's too rude. Okay. Flob. The word flob. It means to spit. An echoic term heard among school children since the 1950s. Well, this is good, isn't it? Right, what else have we got? Cottage, a public lavatory. Someone put a question in the comments. Right, what bread basket, the abdomen. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Bread basket. Okay, what else have we got? Foobar. I think we all know what foobar means. Okay. And chip. The word chip means to leave or to run away. So there you go. A vogue term among teenage gang members since the 1990s. Chip. So there we go. I have got a story actually. I could have told this story. Right. This is really weird. Right. About 2 days ago, I had a dream where I went into a charity shop and I found season 3 of Family Guy and I bought it. Now, season 3 of Family Guy, if you don't know, was a very good season because at the end of season 2, the show was due to be cancelled and season 3 was due to be the last season. So they pulled out all the stops and made it quite edgy. So season 3 of Family Guy is really good. Now, I had this dream where I went into a charity shop and bought season 3. It was so realistic that the next day I woke up and I thought I actually had done that. It seemed like a memory to me. So I went downstairs and I had a look in all my DVDs and I thought I could have sworn I bought this DVD, but it turned out it wasn't there. So I figured, okay, perhaps I did dream it. And then yesterday, I went into Norwich City and I went into a charity shop and sitting in the DVDs was season 3 of Family Guy. So I bought it and here it is.
Ah, fantastic.
We floundered for a little while with the dictionary, Dean. I must admit.
It's okay.
But then I out of nowhere came my Family Guy dream story.
Excellent.
It was really quite strange when I saw it because it was almost like deja vu, you know, because I thought I've done this once already. It was really strange. So whether I had a prophetic dream, or I suppose I must have done, or perhaps it's just a coincidence, but it was certainly very peculiar.
So Tim is saying, and this is regarding Stan Solo, he'll probably still do the Tonika Sisters since he has pre-orders up for them. Then he has a pre-order up for the R4 droid. I have to confess, I did not order those sisters because I think I mentioned this on the last live stream. I have no recollection of them in Star Wars. So, up for the R4 droid. Okay. Too sad about Stan Solo, but I fully understand. His contributions to Star Wars collecting won't be for absolutely not. No, he has saved vintage Kenner Star Wars for me and many other people. Without him, I wouldn't have a full collection because I am not paying these ridiculous prices that people are asking for some of these last 17 figures in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, on that very subject, I saw a video today from Luke Reynolds of Reynolds Reviews, where he picked up a last 17 pop-up lightsaber R2-D2, but he has the Repro lightsaber because he's a smart guy. He's not paying hundreds of dollars for a little bit of plastic. And
Yeah.
if it looks the same, if it functions the same, it's all good and well.
Mm.
Monkey Boy, you must tell us where we can purchase this book immediately.
I was actually given it as a gift from a friend. I believe he bought it on Amazon or possibly eBay. It is
Yeah.
by, the company is called A&C Black. That's A&C Black, London. acblack.com. And it's a dictionary of contemporary slang, so everything is in there. I actually, bizarrely, when I got home, I opened it up directly at the page with the C word on it, which was quite good. But there's loads of stuff in here. I mean, we've got cock block, we've got clutch, which might be, we've got cluffy. Cluffy, isn't that Scottish? Cluffy.
Cluffy, it could well
Cluffy.
be. Yeah.
A foolish, unfortunate, or unpleasant person. There we go.
Actually,
anyway,
I think I may have something quite similar. I don't see it to hand, but maybe next time I can. In fact, if you can give me just two seconds, in fact, I'm going to check my bookcase. I think I have something very similar.
I'll just sit here and I'll throw up gang signs.
Yeah.
West Side. East Side.
So, what was your book called?
It's called Dictionary of Contemporary Slang, 3rd edition.
I have the little book of profanities. So I'll just open a page at random. Chode. It says here, first description, a penis that is as short as it is fat. Or number 2, to behave like an embarrassing dick. Okay, second random page.
Yours is better than mine.
Oh, clunge. It says here, a well-lubricated vagina or an obtuse person. And we'll do one more before we get kicked off the air. What? Bus wanker. A person, predominantly a chav, who can't afford any means of transport except a bus, or a general term of abuse. Bus wanker. Okay.
Interestingly, the word clunge and the term bus wanker both come from the TV show The Inbetweeners. They're both both on that show. So that's interesting. Yeah.
This could be the source of much more live hilarity, perhaps. Okay, one more as a bonus. That just says compulsive swearing, and it's a quote from Mark Twain. Profanity provides relief denied even to prayer.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, okay. Jizz wipe. Oh my God, I'm going to get banned for this, but first description, a fuck cloth used to entrap semen following ejaculation. And number 2, a useless or ineffectual person so crap that they resemble a garment loaded with jizz. Okay, this will be the source of a whole new live stream. And perhaps we can have your book and my book. And
I must say, fuck cloth might be the funniest thing I've heard all week.
Yeah. So there you go, Gerard. That's those are the books that we've been reading.
There you go.
I need that book translated to Dutch. Tim says, plus I guess it's about Stan Solo. Plus, it's annoying he always has new people joining his Facebook group saying they missed out on certain figures. Then those same people keep asking for someone to sell them a spare. Yeah, that's very true. Season 3 of Family Guy is great.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite
Yeah.
seasons.
That DVD, Monkey Boy, what a dream, a vision.
Yeah, it certainly was very strange.
Monkey Boy has experienced a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, Tom, I did.
So Tim says Tonika Sisters are just sitting in the background of the bar of Mos Eisley. So unless you're building up a cantina play set with action figures, you can do without. Yeah, I don't need them in my collection. Although they are nice looking figures, but it's just not something I need to be buying. That's funny hearing about a cock blocker. Yeah. My knowledge of the English language is growing by the second here tonight. Wow. Okay, Seth, that sentence alone is perfect English. You write better English than a lot of native speakers, so don't worry about that. Ed 5 is here. Ed, if you're at a loss on your graveyard shift, the link is posted up top.
Hello,
But
Ed.
thank you for stopping by. Seaman, yes. Hang on. I just had a thought of an old joke here about it's to do with a submarine and what's it full of or something, or what's hard and long and full of semen.
Yeah.
A submarine, yeah. Lol, hard case, full of, Will. Tim is laughing, I think. I'll have to check Amazon for a jizz wipe. Yeah. Actually, jizz, the word itself, it didn't come into my vocabulary until much later on in life. But there is a Duran Duran song on one of their less popular albums, possibly the Wedding album, where there's a line in the one song that reads, or the rhyming word is catechism, and they chose to rhyme that with beads of jism.
What the
heck? Johnny says, Merry Christmas, everyone. And no, it's not too early to say that. Thank you, Johnny. You're absolutely right. Ed is saying, now chodes and jizz wipes is something I haven't used in a long while. Hey, guys. Hope you had a great holiday weekend with friends. Oh, thank you. Impossible Pie. Hello there. Seaman was a South Park joke. Yeah. Happy American Thanksgiving. It was a winking emoji face meant to say, okay, thanks, Tim. I can't see too well. It's very small here. Seaman was also a joke in The Simpsons. I mean, even in Bruce Dickinson's Dive, Dive, Dive song, he mentions Seaman Stains. Seaman Stains is down below. Torpedoes loaded. He's ready to go. What could that possibly mean? G says, jizz is also a style of music in the Star Wars universe. Yeah. So, if anyone wants to join this, the link is in the top, because in about 10 minutes, we'll open up an old catalogue from the 80s and reminisce about the toys. And I suspect these will be toys that Monkey Boy is a lot more familiar with than I am. Because, again, just to go over old ground, 1986, Christmas of 86 was my last Christmas to receive any kind of toy. I was still in primary 7. And by August of... In fact, hang on a minute. Am I getting mixed up here? Christmas... Wait a minute. This is confusing me now. I started high school in August of 86, meaning Christmas 85 was my last primary school Christmas. And
Right.
that was when I wanted Optimus Prime that got Jetfire. Christmas of '86 was mostly football stuff, Hib strips and tracksuits. But I did, I think, get Screwball Scramble game.
Nice.
And that may well have been my last kind of toy as a kid, which was kind of, it's sad to think back on. But I was still buying mask toys somewhere between starting high school in August of '86. So maybe say August, September, October '86. I was still into mask, but then the peer pressure of high school put an end to that.
Right. Yeah.
And I think as a last gasp effort to have a toy for Christmas, I think I got Screwball Scramble that year.
They've
Oh,
done a
very sad.
Screwball Scramble 2 now,
Oh,
and you can
really?
join them together. You can
Oh,
fit them. They clip together, so it makes one longer game.
yeah. Honestly, my memory of Screwball Scramble was my dad shouting, "Turn that goddamn thing off."
Oh,
He's trying to watch his TV, and the clock ticker, the sort of clockwork, ding, 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 ding.
yeah.
But I think the noise was quite excruciating. Plus, me pressing all these buttons and all these mechanisms going everywhere. It wasn't a particularly quiet game.
Did you ever play Kong Man?
No, never.
Oh, that was brilliant. It was. I mean, I suppose it was similar to Screwball Scramble, but it was a vertical game.
Hmm,
It worked with magnets. You had a steel
right.
bearing, and
Okay.
you had to work your way up the
Yeah.
mountain using various ladders and steps and different things like that. It was really good.
Right. Um, Tim says to Impossible Pie, they did a Super Friends parody on South Park. The Hall of Super Best Friends. Seaman was a parody of Aquaman. That makes complete sense. 86, my brother Norman started high school in 85. That means that Norman is probably a year older than I am. I got to go see you all. Okay, thank you, Tom. It was good to see you
Cheers,
stop
Tom.
by.
See you, man.
See you 80s. Yep, absolutely. Tim says, your dad must have been pissed. My dad would get pissed hearing other people's cell phones go off while he tried to play bingo. Yeah, I've noticed lately there's this real trend for people to take their calls on speakerphone in public. And I
Yeah.
find that incredibly rude. If you have the ability to hold the phone, if you're holding the phone in the hand, it's not a hands-free situation. So put the damn thing to your ear and listen to the person talking. You know.
Yeah.
Sveth says, I remember my last toy I got before going to high school was the Kenner Terminator Bioflash Generator playset. Still have it
Oh,
in its original box.
yeah. Cool.
I'm just checking here. Perhaps Amazon may have delivered my batteries. Yes, they did. If you can spare me literally give me 45 seconds while I retrieve my delivery of batteries, I will be right back.
No
Is that
worries.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Right. Well, while I've got you here, everyone, hit that like button, please. That would be awesome. Let's see that number go up. What have we got at the moment? We've got 7. That's a very poor effort. Come on, everyone, hit the like button. I want to see that number go up by the time Dean gets back, please. And a few Seth saying a few words from the book. Let's have a look. Let's see what we've got. I apologize. I haven't worn my glasses. Sneeze is a term used by yuppies to refer to cocaine. Shit fit, a bout of anger or intense irritation.
Get a load of this. So this is absolutely soaking wet.
Oh,
Amazon had the option to open the screen door and place this between the front door and the screen door. They chose not to. Let me just get a knife to make sure the batteries are not wet.
That's not very good. That's not very good at all.
They're absolutely useless. And bearing in mind, I do like to save the boxes to reuse again, but this one is so wet that that's not going to be an option, I'm afraid. But so we have Amazon Basics batteries. So hopefully these will be okay. Yeah, there we go. How interesting.
Okay.
Some batteries.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know how it is in the UK, but when they hire people to deliver for Amazon in America, they're not hiring the best, put it that way.
Right. Okay.
Thankfully, they got here safely, so I'm not going to complain too much. I thought I was done buying batteries, but I realized I have a lot of battery-operated Christmas lights, so I had to get myself some more. Tim says, maybe Dean, Norman, but Norman, I think, started high school late since he's dyslexic. Okay. Well, I think we're similar age then. No worries. A few words from the Book of Monkey Boy. Yes. My last toy is a good conversation. It's usually my first toy or my favorite toy. Okay. It's at 45. Will says, yeah, I was one of the last out of my mates to buy toys, 1984. The girls started looking better. Yep, I know what that means. Yep.
Yeah.
Hello to Ed 5. It's now at 45. What am I missing here? Is that the count of the people watching? Perhaps.
Oh, let's have a look. The likes. Let's have a look.
Ed says hi to Tim.
Maybe mine hasn't updated. Oh no, it's still.
Tim says shitfit. I've heard of a piss test, which is slang for a drug test. Yep, never heard of a shitfit. Ed is saying, use your jizz wipe to dry it off. My last toy was Mask Bulldog or Bulldoze. I remember feeling slightly embarrassed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good toy though.
Yeah.
Good vehicle. It's probably one of the heaviest mask vehicles.
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh.
I think it's heavier than Rhino is. I think.
Wow. Oh, so Tim's brother was born in 70. Okay. Dave of Vintage Toy Rush. Good to see you, Dave.
Hello,
pretty
Dave.
sure all Amazon delivery drivers are replaying their memories of Paperboy. Yeah. Yeah, they are not very careful, are they? No. Hello to Vintage Toy Rush. Yes, you were like. Okay, thanks, Ed. Or likes. Oh, hang on. Let me refresh the YouTube stream.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine's just saying 7 at the moment.
I got 20. I had 27.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, now I've got 52 on the YouTube stream.
Oh, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you indeed.
Appreciate that. Obviously, mine was mine's not updated because mine's still showing 7. So apologies to everyone that had liked it prior to my request. It appears my tablet is having a bit of a twat attack. Sorry about that.
And since refreshing YouTube, I've had an advert attack. I don't know how to get back. Okay, here we go. And I'm back on the live chat. There we go. It's all good. Tim says 54 watching. Oh, thank you, Tim. Oh, now it's 51. So you scared away, 3 people? Today, Will. Netflix has a series about swear words. The first episode is all about F, lol. Hi, Tim and Ed. Yeah, so again, I think it is pinned to the YouTube stream. If anyone wants to join, providing I know who you are, please do jump in. So it's now 4:11, and also as well, I should remember, I'll remind everyone, at exactly 5 p.m. I will have a premiere of my video, which will show you in great detail how much YouTube actually pays for videos. Not to give too much away, it's not a lot, but it's a topic that a lot of people think that by reaching 1,000 subscribers, the money is suddenly going to start pouring in. Not to be a big downer here, but that's not the case, and I will show you that. And that will start at 5 p.m. And I did something on this that I believe will redirect you to that video at 5 p.m. from the stream if you're still watching. I don't know if this is going to work or not. It's all very much up in the air, but that is the intention.
So are you going to wrap up the stream before the premiere starts, or
we will have to cut this on 5 p.m. precisely, and then I think it goes straight to that. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but fingers crossed. Gerard says, for the longest time, I thought I was the last of my friends to stop playing with toys until I found out they continued, but on the down low. Yeah, I think we all did, really. We all wanted to be cool and hip and not be into toys, but I think it was hard for a lot of us to give up. It certainly was for me.
Yeah, for me, the toy line that really bridged that gap was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, because I was really too old for toys by then, but I really wanted them, and I never quite had them. So it was like, oh, I wish I was a year or two younger so I could have these, but I never did. Which is why I'm in a couple of weeks. I'm buying a collection of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, well, I mean, as it was, the Turtles completely passed me by. I only knew of Turtles courtesy of Anthrax, where Danny Spitz, the guitarist at the time, his guitar had stickers of the Turtles on it. I didn't know about the cartoon or the toys, and we're talking, what, 88, circa 88, 89 perhaps?
About 88. Possibly. I can't quite remember.
And Local Hero was saying, I was meaning the toy that made you think, oh, I'm too old for toys. Mine was Bulldog. I've now recollected them all. I guess mine would have been Mask. I was probably playing with my Mask and thought, oh, yeah, I'm too old for this. Will says, I've been out with a girl whose dad printed stickers back in the day. I got all the stickers, Star Wars, Batman, you name it. Only got second base, though. But hey, I got my stickers. That's a fair trade-off. I had a lot of pressure from family and some friends as I aged out. I continued in secret, and that led me to collecting in-box until a couple of years ago. Interesting. So Impossible Pie asked, do you think Stan Solar will continue making figures, or do you think they're close to being... Well, from what Chris said on his last update, I think we're getting to the end of the line now. I can only imagine the grief he has to put up with from not only the anti-repro mob, but also uneducated customers who just harass him with like ridiculous questions that he's addressed a million times. You know, do not order pre-orders with in stock. He said that a million times, and people continue to do so, and then say, oh, Chris, I made a mistake. Can you change? But it's not that easy to change an order. And I know firsthand, just on eBay, how stupid most customers are. Some of these people out there, man, I tell you what, you have to thank your lucky stars that for the most part, we are all smart people. There are some real dumbasses out there, and you see it firsthand working on eBay, even on YouTube. Some of the comments I get, I'm like, my God, how do these people get beyond primary school? It's unbelievable. Anyway, with that out of the way, Will says say to hey to Ed 5. So also as well, don't forget, hopefully, if things go to plan, I will be in a much closer time zone to Will and Ed 5, which should mean more interaction with those guys, those cool dudes. Um, when I was in Thailand last time, I did appear on one of Ed 5's streams, and it was all, I think it was all Aussies and New Zealanders. And that will be more my time zone. So stay tuned for that. I used to have Vintage Turtles blimp till today. I regret that I did not keep it. Still have the figures. Rocksteady and Bebop must have been my favorites. Loved the way these were sculpted. Yeah, I've never had those in my possession. I'm doing fine. Okay. I would try and jump in, my friend, but I always mess it up with myself. And hopefully you remember. Of course, Johnny, you were on last Christmas. I don't remember if that was with Ben or with Jason or not, but you were definitely there. I remember seeing you in the stream last year. I guess I traded in collecting toys for collecting hangovers. I now proudly collect both. Yeah, I think we all do. Nice one. All right, so Monkey Boy, it's you and me. Do you want to take a look at Argos? And I think it was, hang on, let me just check this. So how does 1988 grab you?
Yep, I will have been 11.
So this was your prime.
Yeah.
So this was very much...
Sadly, I think 11 years old probably was my prime, to be fair.
This will be... So let me just grab these quick two chats and then we'll share the screen because we've still got like 40 minutes left. Just a regular gamer says, just a coincidence, but I am currently watching this while packing eBay sale. eBay had a nice 80% off final value fees. I'm totally with you on dealing with some members of the general public. Yeah, honest to God. I mean, for example, here's a quick example for you. So I've opened all my Masters of the Universe Origins figures, and that includes the Mattel Creations exclusives. And those came in nice brown cardboard boxes, as I'm sure you're all aware. I thought, you know what? Let me get some money for these empty boxes. So I did a listing, and I think there was about 9 of these brown cardboard boxes with the card backs and partially attached bubbles inside. And I put on the item headline, Mattel Creations exclusives, card boxes plus card backs and bubbles, and then star, 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 read, star, star, star. And then the first photograph was all 9 brown boxes. Next photograph would be a box with a card back with an empty bubble. Next picture was me lifting the partially attached bubble. So I did that 9 times. Description. Please note there are no figures. I repeat, no figures included with this sale. I sold that listing, I think, about 4 times before someone realized they weren't paying for the figures. And I said a few times, I said, okay, aside from the fact that my listing tells you there are no figures, the photographs explain there are no figures. Do you really believe you were getting 9 Mattel Creations exclusives for $40? Right? Oh my God. It's like unbelievable. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
But it's all the information was there. And then the funny thing as well, when I had auctions with similar listings, for example, I got rid of all my retro collection cards, retro collection boxes. I get someone bids and wins, and then they realize and they write, "Oh, I'm so sorry. My wife was using my eBay," or "My kid was using my eBay." I write back, "Don't blame your wife. Don't blame your kid. You didn't read the description."
Yeah.
So yeah, it's extremely frustrating. Okay, I'm going to get through these comments and we'll open up a catalogue. I do promise. Laughing at Gerard. Any Black Friday purchases? Nope, none for me. I am okay. I'm not saying I'm finished, but I'm pretty close to being finished getting in stuff. Simply because one, it's too expensive, and second of all, I got to ship all this to Thailand. I cannot be bringing in more stuff. Any good sales purchases, Dave?
No, not really. Apart from the weird Family Guy incident. No, I haven't bought anything in the Black Friday sales.
Yeah. Gerard was 4. Will says, "Yeah, Dean, you always always a place to stay in New Zealand." Oh, thank you, Will. That's very kind. Hopefully, Christmas will take a break for 6 months or a year and surprise us with a whole new lineup, a vehicle or something. Yeah, that would be really nice. It really would. That's a hilarious eBay story. Yeah, but it's so frustrating, man. I even had one guy. It was my retro collection. I think it was the box that had, the vac metalized R2 and 3PO. I sold the box with the card backs with attached bubbles. And the guy won the auction and he paid me. And then he realized, oh, wait a minute, I just bought empty packages. I'm like, so he writes to me, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I've really screwed up here. I didn't realize." And I'm like, well, as it happens, I've already paid for the shipping label. It's all packaged up. Now what? He says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you help me out here?" I'm like, well, why should I? It was clear as day that you were purchasing empty packages in a box. However, I'm not a complete bastard, so I will work with you. However, because I have paid for the shipping label and I've paid the fees on selling it, if I will deduct the shipping label and the fees I've paid and then give you a refund. And he was okay with that. So in the end, I think I made like $1 profit on that whole failed transaction. But I'm like, what is wrong with these people? I just don't understand how people are so stupid. Yeah, these people walk amongst us. Yeah, they do, Ed. It's shocking. Yeah, Dean, always have a place to stay. Oh, thank you. That is incredibly kind. Right, okay. Toy Catalogue, 1988. This might bring back memories for some of you guys. For me, this was way after, well, not when I say way after, my toy collecting ended circa, I'm going to say October of 86. So we're going to look at toys that I am not aware of, but quite possibly toys that Dave was a big fan of. And Action Pop Dad is here. Good to see you, Nick. If
Hello,
you
Nick.
wish to, please do join in. The link should be pinned to YouTube. But I'm going to go ahead and I will, in fact, you know what? If you do join us, Nick, do say so in the YouTube chat, because when I go to full screen for the catalog, I won't see the StreamYard. But if I click on present and share screen and click on this, this should give us a toy catalog from 1988. Now, I will give you a few seconds because I need to make sure on my YouTube feed that this does show up. I'm not seeing it. Okay, I'm seeing it now. Okay, now does that look okay?
Yeah, it looks okay. I'm going to look at it on my tablet because it's a bit bigger.
Yeah, so these are the sort of electronic games from, 1988. Now, foolishly, I don't have a mouse to work with, so I'll use my trackpad. I guess the stuff on the left is very much the kids' stuff. But over on
Yeah.
the right, we've got the Game and Watch. Now, here we go. Those two-screened Game and Watches, I do remember seeing those, but I never actually had any. I had a single-screen Game and Watch. But
Yeah,
what?
I had a single one.
Yeah.
But I remember the one on the right, the white one.
Mhm.
I don't recall the orange one.
No, but what does interest me is item 17. I had that and actually still have it in my possession,
Oh,
this game, but 17 they are saying is Formula One, but the one I had was a tennis game. Oh, hang on. Has that got lost?
no.
Okay, it did on my screen here. So anyway, the one I had was a tennis game, but the chassis is exactly the same, and I still have it. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to operate anymore. But it was a game that I enjoyed as a kid. But the fact of the matter is, that game cost £4.95. What an absolute steal that was,
Nice.
right? So moving on.
Can you see comments, Dean, or not?
I'm seeing them on YouTube. What do I need?
Oh, okay.
What am I missing?
Nick just says that if you're still on in 30 minutes, he'll pop on, but that's going to be right at your close time, isn't it?
Yeah, we have to close at 5. We'll catch him on the proper Christmas streams, I guess.
Do you need a
So-
Space Ranger outfit? Nick says
Huh?
he can get he's pretty sure he can get you 90% off a Space Ranger outfit.
Oh, really? Okay. I will deal with this when we're done.
Right, let's have a look. What we got now?
So we got more.
That I almost bought one of those Tomy Tronic, the purple one. I almost bought that at the Norwich Toy Fair.
Oh yeah.
I wish I had done now. It was actually there the last time I went to the toy fair, so the seller obviously isn't getting rid of it. If it's there at the next one, I think I'm going to buy it.
But is it still operational?
Well, I would bloody hope so.
Yeah.
I think he was asking. I think it was about 30 quid,
Oh,
maybe
wow.
25.
Yeah, it's okay.
So I'm gonna next time I go to the toy fair, I'm gonna take some batteries with me.
Okay.
And if it's still there, I'm going to test it out. And if so, I'm going to buy it, because I never had it as a kid, but
No.
I knew a couple of friends that did have it, and I played it quite often. And I just love the whole concept of holding it up to your eyes and sort of looking into the screen.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And I vaguely do remember number 8, which was the Tommy Dingbot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how much fun that would have been, but for £5.75, I don't imagine it was too high tech.
Not incredibly so, no.
No. We've got some trivia. Yeah.
He looks a bit like Johnny Five from Short Circuit.
Yeah. And we got some nice Skeletrix and Horn. I guess that's Hornby Railways. There we go.
Yeah.
High-speed train. Yeah. Those are pretty cool. But so here we got Tomy race games and Tyco, of course. But for me, it was all about Skeletrix.
Yeah.
Those are pretty nice sets. And those had some lights on them. Very sort of high-tech compared to the sets I had.
Mm.
I think my set was probably circa like 1980. And they got the Mighty Metro. Now, was that the Austin Metro? Let me see. Yeah, it looks like a Metro. There we go. Mighty Metro. So next up, board games.
Okay.
From looking at this, I can tell you, and I think I've said this every single year, that Test Match was one of the best games ever because it did exactly what it said it would do.
Right.
It was a pretty fun-filled game, and actually did work pretty well as an interactive board game. There's
Yeah.
Emlyn Hughes, Team Tactics, and Cup final game. But those were
Wow.
pretty cool. Ghost Castle was something I always kind of fancied, but
That was good.
never actually got.
That was good fun. I actually
Yeah.
thought about buying that again because you can still buy it, and I think it's still being produced.
Oh,
Or you
wow.
could obviously get a vintage one.
Yeah.
But I've thought about buying that recently because I used to love that. That was brilliant.
Yeah. More sort of, I guess these are more interactive games like Mr. Pop, and
Yeah.
oh, there's the Kongman. Is that the Kongman game? Oh, well, there's Screwball Scramble.
Hmm.
Is that the game you mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think so. Check the write up, but I think it is. Yeah. And it's
Uh,
bigger than it's bigger than it looks.
wait, what the hell just happened here? I have got some weird code appearing on my screen right now. Everything looking okay for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what has happened here. Let me just refresh this page. Oh my God. I've got code galore. Now I've gone back.
It's gone. It's gone. Now we're looking at a steam iron.
Yeah, we are indeed. This is the joys
They
of.
were rubbish toys. Oh, those steam irons. I hated playing with those.
Okay. I've got. Let me go to here. Here. Oh, we're getting closer, I think. Okay. Is this the page or next page?
Oh, you were on the right one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Tommy, Kong, and Screwball Scramble. So quite possibly this was my last ever toy that was given to me as a kid back in Christmas of '86. Really enjoyed that game, but Kong Man does look like fun.
Kongman was brilliant. It makes
Hungry
sense that it's next to Screwball Scramble because they were very similar.
Yeah. Hungry Hippos was, of course, a classic.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think most kids wanted action figures or perhaps Lego. Now, this was a time where I think my last interaction with Lego would have been circa January, February of '84. So I was well past Lego at this point. But for me, it was all about space Lego. And here they're having sets that were not what I was used to. Those are quite high tech, and I think the actual minifigures changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
In fact, I only ever actually had the red, white, and yellow spacemen minifigures. They then introduced blue and black, and then a whole new sort of variety of figures that I was never actually part of. Oi, what happened here?
I never had any blue ones either.
Nah. Bolt and Build and Constructs were kind of like what Meccano type of toys, or
Constructs was kind of Lego-ish.
yeah. Oh, hang on, we've got Ed here. Wait a minute. Ed, how are you?
Hey.
Well, how are you?
Oh, good to see you, Ed.
G'day.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Oh, hang on. Nick, Action Pop Dad, is also here. Hang on. Ed, there we go. Are you seeing all this loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
Oh,
hello.
Nice. So I think I may have just jumped a page here. Britain's. So I have been recollecting my sort of Britain's toy soldiers of late, but none of these appear in this catalogue. But I imagine this is what a lot of people would be interested to see. So this is Mask. Now,
Ed's showing us his game and watch.
Oh, hang on. Let me go back to the studio. How can I? Oh, hang on, Ed. Let me try to give you this. Now, is that appearing for everyone?
Yep.
Indeed.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
He's got
Very
his
cool.
Game and watch. Nice.
Yeah.
Game watch. Yep. So
Excellent.
it's the same one. It's in the catalogue.
Nice one. That's
Cool.
a true vintage right there, eh?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
About as old as it gets.
Yeah. Cool. Let me just whiz through this damn catalog then. So here is the mask from 1988, and this was kind of the end of the line because this was the last set ever. The Laser Command.
Yeah, that's right.
That I think is very hard to come by these days.
Yeah, it's very expensive now to get a complete working one.
I mean, back then it was what, £29, £29. That's quite a lot,
crazy.
actually.
That's crazy when you consider they're going for £400-500 now.
Yeah. And then these were well, there's so number 2 is the Raven, but that was from what, Wave 2? Is that right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
That was a Wave 2 leftover, but the Bulldog and the Razorback, those were racing series. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm not sure if Raven was the first series or second. I can't remember now. My memory's terrible, but I think it was the second. And then you've got Meteor and Buzzard and Goliath there.
Yeah. Also on this page, so a nice snazzy backpack, but the Vampire, I think, was Wave 2. Or
yes,
yes,
probably, yeah.
So it's kind of like
Piranha was the Wave 1, wasn't it?
Yeah. So they kind of like mix things up a wee bit there. Dino Riders, I obviously never knew about. And yeah, Dino Riders, Manta Force. I'm not familiar with that at all.
Manta Force was I wasn't a Mars kid. I had pretty much everything Manta Force as a kid.
Oh wow.
It's a line I really want to get back into.
Okay. Have you got any at the moment?
No, I've looked at a few bits and pieces, but the price can be a bit prohibitive because, like anything that's got many, many small parts, you're almost better off buying them complete because searching out the individual little bits is quite pricey. But I had that ship up there, the grey one. I had those little ships there. I also had the base. They're really quite an interesting line. I had the Red Venom as well. I didn't get them all at once. I got them over several years. My mum and dad were just great for getting me. It's almost like every year for about 4 or 5 years, I got one of the ships and a few of the little pieces in between.
The little figures they're quite similar to Starcom, but I think even smaller than Starcom.
They're definitely smaller than Starcom. Their articulation is the arms would move and the legs had a sort of fixed post between the feet and you could sit them down, but you couldn't independently move the legs.
Yeah.
They were Hoover. They were Hoover or vacuum fodder. I lost many of those. But the little missiles and things, you'd lose bits and pieces. If I can't see the name of that grey ship there. I don't recall its exact name, but I remember the hinges on the canopy broke on mine, and that seems to be quite common on all the ones I look at secondhand online. The Red Venom, I still have the main chassis to, but I don't have any of the little escape pods anymore, and I've probably got a couple of the figures, and they're at my mum's house, to be fair.
Oh.
You need to get back into that, Nick.
What was that? Sorry, bud?
I said you need to get back into that then, yeah.
Yeah, like so many things, though. It's a dangerous path when you get back into a line, isn't it? Because you go, I'll just get a couple of bits, and then before you know it, you're hunting down all these bits and pieces.
Bug kicks in, and you go, I've got to have it all.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to go to the next page. So this is ThunderCats. Again,
Yeah.
I actually did watch the cartoon and loved it as a kid, but for some reason never had any figures. Was this something that you guys collected?
Absolutely.
I had a
Absolutely.
figure. Yeah, it was a present, I think. But yeah, never got into the line.
I've still got a few of my childhood ones. I had that sword. I remember placing the front of that sword on my mum's gas fire on the glass and melting the tip of it because I was an idiot child. But why do we do these things as kids?
Yeah.
But those swords
Because
go
it's
for a
battle
bit now.
damage. It's battle damage.
Absolutely.
Those swords
I had
go
the
for
Thunder
big
Tank.
money. They go for
Big
money.
money. Big money, man. But I had the Thunder Tank, the Fist Pounder, interesting name for a toy.
It's like
Lots of
Fisto,
lots of different figures. Our Luke Reynolds is up on collecting his ThunderCats now, isn't he? He's very much into collecting the line.
Yeah,
I
Luke's into
collected
everything.
the core figures that I wanted, but I haven't got them complete with accessories and stuff. But I just wanted a few just to have in the collection.
I've still got my Snarf.
So just a quick news announcement. I've actually postponed the premiere of my 5 p.m. video so we can just continue doing this, because this is like way more fun anyway.
Yeah, nice.
So there's no rush to get through this. So, but I'm just trying to understand. I distinctly remember playing in my back garden with a sword that my dad had made, pretending to be ThunderCats. And I must have been of an age where the action figures would have appealed to me. When did these action figures first come out?
Oh, I don't know. They were made by LJN, if I recall. I'm just going to check on
I think
Google.
you're looking at about 80.
I reckon it's probably 87.
Oh,
86,
shit.
87.
Are you serious? I was in high
Yeah,
school, man.
Yeah, they're well after He-Man. So, yeah, like I said, I had, so 88, I was in the scout still, so I was doing jamborees and shit. So I reckon I was probably 13 coming on 14. And that's what I mean. I got one for a birthday present, so that's why I'm thinking sort of 87, 88.
Well, the ThunderCats wiki here says 1985, the first series of ThunderCats toys were released.
Wow.
Okay.
However, I was born in 84, and I was still getting ThunderCats toys at around the age 4 and 5. You could still get them in the shops.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Now, here's a question for you ThunderCats fans. I think I may have brought this up one time before on a live stream and no one could answer, but I distinctly remember in the cartoon there being a character called Safari Joe. Does that ring any bells?
Safari
Joe. The name rings a bell.
It was like Safari Joe does it again. Was a line it's stuck in my head.
Nick will tell us.
I'll completely confess here. I've just Googled it. There was a ThunderCats character called Safari Joe, and now I've seen him. I remember him. Yeah, he was a bold dude.
Yeah.
The cartoon, I have memories of it. However, I bought the DVD box set with the intention of watching through it all, and then I got bought it again by my sisters for my birthday. I sent one of them to Luke Reynolds, and I still haven't started watching it. I really do want to get back through it, but it's just finding the time, man. One of the characters I can.
There you go.
Yeah, well, the thing is, man, as much as I would love to, because I've got a 9-year-old now, so as much as I would love to get him to watch the cartoons I grew up on, not all of them are hits. I mean, I did well to get him into Doctor Who, but at the moment it's navigating the crap he wants to watch. You know,
Yeah.
He seems to steal TV time in our house. And as you can see, he's just got his TARDIS tent. That's what's behind me. So we're doing well.
Is that 10?
Yeah.
That's
Now,
in my
Karate
front
Kid,
room.
that's something I did have, and Starcom. I had both of those.
I never had Karate Kid. My cousin was big on Starcom. They had the magnetic feet, didn't they?
That's correct, yeah. And you can interlock everything together as well. It's awesome stuff.
Didn't they have quite cool wind-up mechanical mechanisms for the ships as well?
So the Viper and that, they all fold down wings.
Yeah, they had like resistance springs in them, so you would press a button and it would release the spring, and it would be kind of like not a clockwork mechanism, but like a spring-loaded play features. And some of them would also have features that you could unlock with the magnetic feet. They would work when you put the figures on them. It's actually a really very, very well engineered toy line. I don't think anything like that could be made today, because it would be so expensive to make that today.
Oh, definitely.
So regarding these Centurions, is that something that Luke Reynolds collects?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he's big time on those.
Yeah.
Yep. Big time. Yep.
Again,
I had one Centurion that I got as a birthday present, which was like the ship-looking one, which I used with my Transformers, really. So it's sort of intermingled with them.
I saw a couple at a toy fair a while back. They're quite big, bulky figures, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they're about a 7-8 inch sort of figure, I reckon. So, but again, they could all be interlocked with it. Like you could switch your legs and arms and stuff with each other, and they're cool. Got those plug-in things.
Right. So jumping over to Transformers, this is definitely stuff that came out after my time with Transformers. I don't recognize any of this stuff, to be honest. What about you guys?
The only reason I have any connections to Transformers and had any of them to play with as a child is, I know it wouldn't be considered the PC term now, but my oldest sister was a complete tomboy, and she's the reason why I had Motu in the house, and she's the reason why we had ThunderCats in the house. So she most definitely had Transformers. I recall some of the robots. I'm pretty sure she had the one in the top left there, that plain one. She certainly had an Optimus. She didn't have that Optimus Prime. She had another, I'm sure, because that's not the original Optimus Prime.
No,
there, is it?
That's the later one.
So
that might have been after the Spark type thing.
Is this considered G2?
Quite possibly.
Yeah, certainly not G1.
No. And this, there's Galvatron.
Now, my cousin had Galvatron, if that's the one that with the funny orange thing and the chrome on its belly.
Well, 16. 16.
Yeah, that's
Galvatron. So £14.95. Not bad.
I'm pretty sure VTR Dave restored one of those for Luke Reynolds a while back.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah. So these are, I mean, for me, my Transformers collection is primarily Wave 1 and Wave 2, and that is it.
Yep.
I don't go beyond that. So we'll just flip a page. Now we've got Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So this is actually, it's almost a whole 2-page of Ghostbusters. So this was something that you guys enjoyed, right?
I even had that backpack. I had that backpack when I started school.
This one?
No,
sorry, the actual
backpack.
No,
the actual school backpack on the left-hand side.
Minimize. Okay, this one, the puffy one. Okay.
Yeah, that was my first ever backpack I had when I started school at 4 years old. That's what I had.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Right. So now, in terms of collecting in 2023, are these toys commanding like big value these days?
Yeah, you're looking at about 25 to 30 quid for a complete loose figure.
The problem you get is the wands. It's getting them. It's getting the figures so they're not all loosey goosey, and getting them that the wands aren't broken, isn't it? And also getting the little monsters with them. And they were quite clever with the re-releases because they are slightly different, but the ones on the reissues don't fit the classic ones, because I know some people are keen on nicking parts, but they don't fit because they reinforced some of the easily breakable parts on them. I think the wands, I think every single one I had was either chewed or snapped when I was a kid. I was a chewer, one of those annoying kids, but I did have that gun, the projection gun. And if I recall, it used to project a picture, you'd turn a disc in it, and it had like a little foam bullet, foam bullet, and you could fire it at the thing. I had that because I never had the backpack one, but I did have that projector gun. And that was pretty cool until I lost all 3 or 4 of the foam bullets they supplied you with. But that was wicked.
And
Firehouse
and the Firehouse and Car is quite good as well.
I'm just trying to think if I'm having an odd moment where did the projector definitely fire foam bullets, because I definitely had a gun that did. I'm just looking at this and thinking, did I have 2 different guns?
No,
I know that actually fired. You were able to fire something at what you saw on the wall, so it was some sort of like a nerve bullet type thing, like a foam thing that came out. It might have even been like a ball or something, maybe.
And I definitely had that monster with the eye that pops out on the rope. I had Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I had a Slimer. I had the main cast. I had the Ghostbusters. I did really well. To be fair, I had, bar that big, the more luxury backpack with the wand and everything, I pretty much had everything on those pages. My parents were pretty, considering they were all skint, they did well to get us the toys that we liked as kids.
I completed my Ghostbusters. Well, not completed. That's not true. I've got the main ones that I wanted, which were obviously the Ghostbusters figures, the Firehouse, the Ecto one, most of the Haunted Humans, and the classic monsters ones, like Dracula and Wolfman and that lot.
I got some of those.
But mine are all you can't really see, but mine are all sitting on the coffee table. My coffee table is completely covered in real Ghostbusters. I think it's a great line. I had a couple of them when I was younger, but I always wanted the whole set, so I've treated myself as an adult.
All right. Did you have or have you got rather? And if I'm on the same page as you at the moment, if we're talking the same thing, the Hunchback, Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I've got them all.
I don't think I had the Wolfman, but I had the first 3. Yeah, man, they're cool.
So I've just switched pages and we're on Action Force, but this is definitely the point in time when it became G.I. Joe Action Force. Mm-hmm. And none of this stuff has any memories from me whatsoever. What about you guys?
Yeah, so
I had
the
a few
Snow
bits
Cat
and
there.
pieces.
The Snow Cat, which is down in the bottom corner. That orange boat, I had that. Yeah, a couple of things.
But
Striker.
But Dan, did they actually sell this as Action Force in Australia?
No, it was G.I. Joe here.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, it wasn't Action Force. It was G.I. Joe.
Just a different name for it. Yeah. And then if you go beyond this, we're into the dolls. So who here had Cindy dolls?
I had all sisters. Yeah, so I can recall a few of those.
No,
correct. Same, right? I had a sister. So.
Am I right in saying that in the UK, Cindy was bigger than Barbie?
I think Cindy was definitely cheaper than Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the cheap version.
Yeah, we got more
pound puppies.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
I had a pound puppy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check this out. This is Matchbox. Hang on. Wait a minute. Let
My
me just
Pet
zoom in
Monster.
here a second.
My Pet Monster, is it?
My Pet Monster. Alf.
That's Matchbox.
Yep.
I had a minute.
Oh,
I had a small My Pet Monster. Never had the big one.
That yawning cat thing. That was awesome.
Oh really?
The thing that's sitting next to Gordon the Gopher.
Oh yeah.
Like a yawning
Right.
cat. That was cool.
Yeah. Let me just whiz through this stuff because for the most part, this is of no interest to anyone watching this right now. Even even in '88, they assumed that girls would be typing, being cashiers, and selling it at a market stand. And finally, we got the infant stuff. There's Glowworm and Fisher Price, but no
I had that Fisher Price garage as a kid.
Oh wow, nice. What about the vacuum?
And that plane.
Yeah.
We certainly had a few bits and pieces. Oh god, we had a spirograph. That was crap. My older sister got one of those for Christmas one year.
Yeah.
And we certainly had an Etch-a-Sketch. They were rubbish as well.
Yeah. Mr. Frosty.
Never had a Mr. Frosty.
Chemistry set. Always wanted one. Never got the chance to blow up the house. And there is some really naff, bikes and things.
We have one of these cheap pool tables.
Yeah.
Snooker tables.
Yeah. Also, as well, this term foosball, where did that come from? To me, it's table football.
I think that's an American phrase, isn't it?
Yeah.
Foosball. Well, foosball is a German word, isn't it?
Yeah. But that seems to be the term for this game. But to me, that is table football.
Mm.
And there we go. So I can stop shading this and get back to the normal. Hang on, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're all back on screen here. So as I said earlier in the chat, I did cancel the premiere at 5 p.m. because this is too much fun. And it's almost 5 p.m. So we can keep going with this. Now that I have all your attention here and the Ed 5, or Dan as we know him, is with us. If you don't know, some sleazy bastards stole his stuff. And I think I can say that is everyone watching this, that is their worst nightmare, right? Mm. So I don't know how to go about doing this, but I want to help us get Dan back as much as he can. So, not today because this is live, but if we can get something together whereby we can get Dan some cool stuff sent his way. I'm going to start, I will do my part, but if we can all get together and get some stuff back his direction, because that is absolutely disgusting that some prick would break into his unit and steal his stuff.
Has he got a list of what he lost? Because if I've got anything spare, I don't, if I have spare stuff and it's something I can help with, even if it's tiny.
Well, it's Kenner, majority Kenner, or up to 96 figures, have all of them. But things like the Man and things like that are gone. But yeah, even Farm Boy Luke and majority of vintage Star Wars is gone. I've got mine in Sharkin still, obviously. That's thankfully basically lost 75% of my collectibles, including virtually all my vintage toys. So like Master Universe, that's all gone. Castle Graceland.
I mean, I don't mind looking through. I've got a few spare vintage Star Wars figures. If they're any help, man, I don't mind. Just sat in a box.
It'd be nice to be able to start rebuilding. But yeah, no. I mean, I don't expect anything really. It is what it is. But I did get a random box from America. I still got to work out who actually sent it. and how they got my address. But anyway, it's got Black Series figures and all sorts in there, so I'm going to do a video on that. But yeah, close to $50,000 worth of stuff's gone, like high-end statues, hot toys, all that stuff is, majority of that stuff is gone now. Gold, silver, all my like 64 gaming stations, games, they're all gone. Records, odd collectibles like my shark jaws and my taxidermy alligator skull and my saltwater crocodile skull, and there's all sorts of stuff. But some of it is irreplaceable. But it is what it is. There's some real fuckers in the world, and everyone's out to screw everyone over for something, you know what I mean? So, but like I said, I don't expect anyone to do anything, but it's
if we can, we will help you out.
Man, and I appreciate it. I really do. So, I mean, but
look, man, it's not the best condition in the world, but it's all right. I've definitely got a spare Farm Boy Luke you can have. Send me your address. I've definitely got a spare Boba Fett you can have, and a few bits and pieces like that. I'm happy to post them out to you, man.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, man.
No.
I will reach out on Instagram and
please do, man, because I nearly said a really rude word then. It's messed up. That's messed up.
That's okay. But yeah, like I said, so I'm fortunate enough to still have that because I had some stuff here that wasn't where it was stored, so I still some sentimental stuff from childhood. But which I mean, I don't know if you can see that closer, but there's all etching all over the front of that, like writing, and it's been engraved in there. And the battery case is missing, so if I put batteries in, you got to use the cardboard to play the game, but it works.
But so Dan, I've got something to send to you, like a real quick right now. But once I get to Thailand, I'll get more stuff firing your way, because obviously from Thailand to Oz is much cheaper to send stuff, right?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the fact is, so for example, I'm assuming my family are not watching this because it's now midnight in the UK, I guess. Is that right? Or no?
No, 10 o'clock.
10. I bought a lot of Thai snacks and goodies to send to them as Christmas gifts. One box. It's going to cost me $90 to send that to the UK.
Yeah.
That is not a heavy box.
Again, it's because everyone buys everything online now, and that's where the postal universal makes their money.
Even now, though, because my memories are all based in the UK, all the toys that I enjoyed are UK-based toys. But to buy on eBay from the UK, even a comic is $15, $16 shipping for one comic.
Yeah.
It's outrageous.
No, it really is highway robbery.
Even the Weeble I bought recently, that Weeble was, I think it was £5. The shipping was like $35 for that goddamn Weeble.
It's crazy, man. Like, I'm not, I see your video on Action Man. I actually got round to watching it this morning because I'm forever playing catch up.
Yeah.
I know in the States getting the Action Man parts is really expensive.
Yeah.
However, I have a buttload of spares, man. So honestly, you are welcome to Space Ranger bits. My missus told me I've got to clear some of my stuff out, and frankly, I have, because there's boxes sat in that cupboard behind me there of just that need sorting, and I'd rather them go to someone who wants them. And if it means you don't open that Space Ranger card, that's beautiful.
Yeah, but you have to understand though. For
I
me,
get it, Dean. If you've got to open it, you've got to open it.
No, but I'm not trying to be a snob here, and I'm not trying to make a museum quality display. But the Space Ranger is one of those sets whereby the jumpsuit is dirty, it's faded, the elastic is worn, the gloves are brown almost. That's a hard one to get nice.
I've got a decent helmet. I know I've at least got a decent set of boots and gloves.
Look at this guy. His helmet is decent. All right.
Hey, you can have the black one or the blue one because I've got both.
You have a black helmet? How is that possible?
He's been bashing it about too much.
Oh yeah.
I certainly have a good condition tabard. And gun. Look, man. If you got to open that card, look, I say to anyone, your toy's your thing, and if it brings you joy, open that damn card. You own it. Yeah.
I mean, bearing in mind I forget what it's called now. The supply station that I showcased with all the little bits of accessories that is staying carded because it looks really good on display.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But for me, though, I think the Space Ranger was probably my favorite Action Man outfit. And here's the thing about Action Man that a lot of kids today don't understand was that you could buy one Action Man doll, but he could be 1,000 different characters from one small pack. That's how they do things. Yeah.
You see, I was chatting with my missus a couple of weeks ago, and I said to her, look, I've got probably 65 Action Men, right? It's too many. What I need to do is downsize it to about 20, which is still about 17 more than the average kid had back in the day.
Yeah.
Box up some of their uniforms, display those ones nicely, and every once in a while, periodically change the display and redress them.
Right.
Then I could free up some money for some other lines. Because the problem is I've got them all on like 4 shelves and they're layered back, so you don't get to appreciate how good they are because they're fantastic. If some of especially the Soldiers of the Century line, which I've now just about completed,
right? And
it's a shame to have them buried back on a shelf.
I mean, for me, what was so amazing was I did a lot because I've been to Thailand a number of times. I always did my research to see what new toy stores I could visit. And I saw this one toy store, Masaru. In fact, I've not even put the video on YouTube yet. But I saw on this video last year, someone just filming all the shelves. I'm like, oh my God, that's Action Man. Well, it turned out it was G.I. Joe Action Team. But when I was a kid in the 80s, I've got 2 older half brothers, and they had the original Action Man with painted hair, painted eyes, and then it went hard hands, painted eyes, painted hair. Then it went to flock hair, painted eyes, hard hands. I got those given to me. And I saw them in the shelf in that store. I thought, I've got to have those because I had those as a kid. Even though they weren't the Action Man figures I was given directly, I still played with them. And I got those. I thought, you know what? That's pretty good. I'm kind of happy. And I thought, you know what? I'm not really happy. I need my Palatoy, Kung Fu grips, eagle eyes, flocked hair. And Nick has one of them right now. So,
well, this isn't a BPE or Blue Pants Eagle Eyes.
Right.
This is one of the flocked era ones, still with the painted up. Let me try and do this without breaking his oxygen mask. But this is a flock guy. I have got a few pairs of original hands, but these are replacement hands just because they display nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the helicopter pilot, and you know, this was sort of the next step on from the painted head because they got to flock, and as you can see, this guy's starting to go a bit bold. We all are at this age. And the next step along was like what you showed in your video, which was the dynamic physique Action Man, which was really, it was a slightly better body. These are a lot more repairable because they're held together with elastic.
Right.
But the dynamic physique body was a real nice body that Palatoy came up with. And of course, it had the molded blue pants, whereas Action Man was a little bit androgynous before because he was just all sort of pink colored. Although apparently that is his groin, that is supposed to be molded pants on him. They just never did them in a different color.
I mean, the funny thing was, in my eBay searches, I saw one that said, Action Man, for example, Tank Commander, blue pants. And I've been here so long that to me, pants are trousers. I'm like, but his trousers are green. They, of course, meant the underwear was blue pants. And hang on.
So this is...
Let's make them big again. Okay.
This is an older version. Again, not the blue pants, but this guy. The reason I keep this guy in what looks like a coffin, it's a wine box, is because on his back, he's actually... I don't want to do it because I'll break the zips breaking on this. I need to change the jacket, but he's actually signed by Bob Breakin.
Oh, nice.
And he's actually got the original gripping hands.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
So he is about as original. He has been... No, he hasn't been restrung. So he's about as original as they come.
Yeah.
The only unoriginal parts on him is I replaced the string on these earlier binoculars.
Right. Yeah. Nice.
Needs must. Sometimes you got to do it. I mean, I'm sure someone might pull me and go, "Oh, it's not the correct jacket." That's how I bought it. Bob signed it that day. That it stays like that,
So here's my question. I think you've already said you were born in 84. Is that right?
Yep.
Now, wasn't Action Man long and done by then?
84 he ended. However, I inherited from neighbors some Action Man stuff as a kid. Primarily one Action Man, the armored vehicle and a tank. Nuts on them. Played with it all the time. And then he fell apart. My mum and dad binned him because they didn't know about restringing and repairing at the time. And then it was either 92 or 93, the 90s Action Man came out, which was sort of a repeat of what happened before. It was rebranded G.I. Joe. Right. So you had Duke, Stalker, Snake Eyes, and Cobra Commander. But rather than on the box saying G.I. Joe, it said Action Man because they were the G.I. Joe Hall of Fame range.
Yeah.
But what I found in my childhood was you could go to car boot sales and you could go to markets and places that are toy stores, and I was still buying vintage Action Man stuff to go with my 90s Action Man because it was cheap. In the 90s it was cheap, and for the most part the clothes didn't fit so much, but you could get them in the vehicles. And then I think I did acquire another Action Man later on because you know what it's like as a kid. You've got a figure, you don't care, you play with them all together. And then I sort of started, I wanted to get back the one Action Man I had. Obviously, it was never going to be the same one, but I bought a vintage Action Man in the original style body. Then I bought another. Then I bought another. Tell me if this sounds familiar, guys, when collecting stuff.
Yep, it's a rabbit hole. Everything's a rabbit hole.
Then,
as soon as you start, you got to get it all.
I'm very much one of those people. My personality is when I get into something, I get into it deep. I go into it really hard. I want to learn and know everything about it.
Yeah.
And then before I knew it, that was it. I was hooked in deep, absolutely bonkers on it. And I see VTR say, is that original or 40th edition? I don't know if that's meant at me. It's original. Obviously the pilot does have the 40th grippers on, but that's because I try and preserve my vintage hands, because you could almost blow on some of them and the fingers will fall off. And for display purposes, he needs hands.
Exactly.
So sorry if I bored everyone with Action Man chat.
Not at all.
No.
I love it. But Monkey Boy, did you ever have an Action Man as a kid?
I did have one. Yeah, it was given to me, but again by a friend's older brother. I seem to have inherited a lot of his toys. He when he got rid of a load of stuff, it all came my way, and part of that was an Action Man. But I don't remember. I don't think it had blue pants. I think it was all flesh coloured from what I can remember. And I had quite a lot of different outfits, but I only had the one Action Man.
Yeah, I mean, I know that for a fact, given to me directly was the first one was dark flock hair, eagle eyes, kung fu grip, Action Man. Second was Tom Stone, who was the black Action Man with flocked hair, eagle eyes, kung fu grip. And then birthday, I guess 82 perhaps, was blonde, flocked haired, eagle eyes, kung fu grip, talking commander with the pull string.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I seem to remember my one had a scar on his face, on his cheek.
I think they all did. Yeah,
they all have a
have
scar. Atomic Man, or who was Mike Powers in the Joe range, came over here as Atomic Man. His scar was on the opposite side of the face, but he was sort of released as Hasbro didn't get the license into $6 Million Man. He was a rival, but other than him, they've all got the scar on the same side of the face.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I actually acquired a Tom Stone in the Summerdine.
Oh, really?
I finally got one.
Wow.
Yeah, so what I had before, I had all of his uniform, all complete and vintage, had a vintage head, and I brought a modern reproduction of his body, and that was a placeholder.
Yeah. And
then I was on one of the groups I moderate on, somebody put up a Tom Stone, but he was in pieces.
Right.
And, well, you know, with the help of a Toy Ploy video and having restrung quite a few of my own, I've restrung him. I've got him back in fighting order. So I have got a Tom Stone head spare and a Repro body, but like I say, that's been put aside now. Now I've got yes, the problem is you do have to restring them, because if you do find a Tom Stone in that style of sort of the body was taken from the G.I. Joe muscle body style.
Right.
They used like rubber plugs to hold them together, rubber bungs, and it does perish. I mean, if you know, the blue pants figures over here, their heads often fall off because the rubber like thing they used to hold the head come apart. That's a really easy fix with a bit of elastic, but Tom Stone's a bit more involved, but I did get him there. I did get him restored, and
the bizarre thing is, I remember clear as day when I got Tom Stone, because I was in hospital at the time. I was, I guess, 4, maybe 5 years old, and the grandmother on my mum's side came to visit. And I'm lying in the hospital bed, and I look down, and in her bag is the Tom Stone box. And being a complete brat, I said, "Oh, Tom Stone." And I grabbed it before it was even given to me. I'm like,
nice. You
looking back, I feel like a complete ass.
Did you have
I got Tom Stone.
This box, Dean?
Oh yeah, let me make you big. Yep, that's the one. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I have to confess, on my Tom Stone as well, the original hands had completely rotted away, but I managed to get some reissue like Guyper Man hands there.
Yeah.
They look identical, but they're made of a different rubber. But again, at this point in time with Action Man, I know in the Star Wars realm, people go, no repro, although I don't care. Got loads of repro bits.
It's what makes it work and look good. You know, you've got to be able to restore something.
The option is you have Tom Stone with no hands, or you have Tom Stone with hands.
Yeah.
I go for hands every time.
Yeah. Well, and Go ahead.
I'm actually going to have to bounce. I've got to go get ready
Right.
for work because I was supposed to do night shift, but then they changed it last minute,
Right.
and now I've got to drive to the next town to start the shift. So I've got to
Okay,
go get
Dan.
ready. But great to chat. Even though
Nice to see you, man.
An hour or so. Yeah, good to see you, Dave, Nick, and
Yeah.
Finn. But I'll definitely come back for Christmas streams and we'll catch.
Excellent.
If you have it around the same time, it works really well. It's only it's
but
10
Dan,
to 9 here, so yeah.
Dan, I tell you what though, if I do go ahead with my ultimate Iron Maiden set list live stream, these are the 4 guys that will be on that. Okay.
Yeah. We're definitely doing that. So yeah. That's gonna be happening. Yeah.
All right. Thanks,
all right,
Ed.
lads.
Thanks, Dan.
I will talk to you soon.
Cheers,
Thanks.
man.
Likewise.
See you, chat. Take it easy.
You. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, Dan. And then there were 3. So we have 3 British-born individuals with varying dates of birth, but still appreciate the same toys, which is quite something.
Yep.
However, the time has come where I have to take another piss. So if you guys can entertain yourselves for maybe 90 seconds, I will
you can trust us. We'll be all right.
Well,
fantastic, because when you come back, I'm going for one, so that's all.
Oh,
good.
Really? Or perhaps if Dave can entertain the audience with more of his dictionary's terms, or
No, we don't want to lose people at this stage. Go one at a time.
Regardless, I got to take a piss. I will be right back. I promise.
So Nick, tell me, how come you're such a big fan of Action Force and Action Man? What started that all off? Because you're a bit younger than me, and I feel that kids my age it started to tail off a bit. So what started that all?
Well, I mean, I can sort of answer that pretty easily. Action Man's completely a nostalgia thing. It was looking for a piece of that nostalgia, reminiscing, getting that figure, getting hooked deep, really deep, to the point of like now being like admin on a couple of the bigger groups, making videos with VTR Dave about Action Man. Action Force, I have a lot of love for Action Force. I'm nowhere near as knowledgeable on Action Force, but what I had as a kid, my mum and dad didn't have a lot of money, but they always managed to do really well for us for toys. But we never went hungry, always had everything we could have wanted. And I know they worked their asses off for that. So it's always appreciated. But one year I just got given a big cardboard box. And in this cardboard box was just full top to bottom with Action Force figures galore. And of course, being a kid, all these figures, I was mad on figures. See, I didn't really know anything. I didn't really know at the time they were Action Force, other than the Action Force logo being on a few of the vehicles. Because if I recall, I got the ATC, I got a few of the smaller vehicles. Didn't get the Robo Skull. That would have been sweet.
Yeah,
I didn't really know much about them. So as a lot of kids do, I don't know if you did this yourself, Dave, but you create your own story, your own mythos, your own whatever it is for the toys you get.
Yeah.
So Action Force, again, it's that nostalgic link back to toys I was given as a child.
Right.
So yes, I am born later than a lot of the people in the community, but it's that knock-on effect. It's the hand-me-downs I was given that drew me into the toys that you guys were playing with, and also having an older sister who's like your guys' age, who was a tomboy. As I say, I always worry saying that these days, it's not PC, but she was into that in certain lines, and that sort of drew me along. You know, I was a kid. If it was plastic and it was playable, I was all about it. So that's a long-winded answer to your question, sir. Yeah. I hope it was. I hope it answered it though.
Did you have Action Man figures from a young age?
Yeah, I did. So, as I said, I was certainly given one complete Action Man. Well, complete-ish, if I recall. Oh, his visor just fallen off, bugger. Got to watch for that, guys, if you collect these things. These are hard to get. I had one, if I recall, even then he had broken off missing fingers, but he had, I believe it was the armored car and a tank. And I was just given this toy, which was so much bigger than any other toy I'd ever had. Even though I had ThunderCats toys, they would have only stood to just above the pelvis of Action Man. So it's this big, bulky toy with vehicles, and he was pretty damn tough. And I put my toys through hell, man. You know, so like I say, whatever it was that actually, I know exactly what it was that kicked it in. It was watching Toy Ploy videos, watching him start to restore Action Men, and I think that was the catalyst for me wanting to sort of have a look, see what was out there. And as I said earlier, you get one, and we all know where it goes. And being the sort of slightly obsessive personality I have about anything I'm passionate about, that's it. My mind, I just focus on things. I become really focused on anything I collect, and so that's kind of what happened. I think lockdown also, I got back into it before lockdown, but then in lockdown, my band ended and there were no more gigs and there was nothing to do. And I think a few people could probably say lockdown may have made their collecting go up somewhat, because we had all that money we weren't spending and nothing to do with it. I don't know if anyone else had that scenario. Don't get me wrong, me and my wife were not loaded, but I wasn't gigging and we weren't going out having takeaways, going to the pub and all that crap. So I had a bit more expendable.
I actually really enjoyed lockdown because my personality means I am very much, even this live stream was a very difficult effort for me because I have so many mental issues whereby dealing with other people is a very big deal for me, unless, of course, I am drinking alcohol. So lockdown for me was a godsend. I loved it. That was the best time I ever had. But here we are back in the real world, and I have to try to force myself to be out there. And it's not easy, but we get there in the end.
Difficult. It can be difficult, man. I mean, over lockdown, I managed to work all the way through it. But even now, I often work on my own. But for the last couple of weeks, I've been working in a group of people. And there was certainly, for the first couple of weeks, I was finding it quite hard. I was finding the noise quite hard. I was finding the social interaction quite hard. Because when you're on your own, you can sort of go in, set your little Bluetooth speaker up, put on whatever podcast or YouTube video you want to listen to in the background, and crack on with it, get on the tools and get the job done. Yeah. So I think lockdown for me was also quite... it's odd to say, but I quite enjoyed... I have my family. I'm lucky, I have my family around me, my wife and my kid. And I'm always happy to spend time with them. But I think it was quite... if I can take one thing from it, I think it was... I know some people say it's mad, but I think I can sort of get what you're saying, Dean. That time away from the madness was just really nice.
Yeah.
Well, and lockdown didn't affect me at all because I was deeply unwell at the time, and I was self-isolating anyway, so I hadn't been out for months anyway. I didn't notice the first 6 months of lockdown. It really didn't affect me at all.
So we have Seth asking the question, are there any Iron Maiden fans in the room?
Yeah, definitely a couple. That'll be 3.
That'll be 3. And Seth, I am planning, I don't know when, but my dream, it's not a dream is big wealth. No, my ambition is to do a live stream whereby we get a number of guests to pick their ultimate Iron Maiden set list for a concert. And
excellent. That's a good idea.
I
Yeah.
suspect the three guys here may well be involved. Also, Ed, who just disappeared, would definitely be involved. So that will happen. Absolutely. And Seth wants a word from Monkey Boy. So give him a word. Even if that word has come, just it's a word, right?
I have in the past taken the piss out of people that have read dictionaries on live streams, but on this occasion, because it's a slang dictionary, it's slightly different. I've opened it at P, and the word is packed, and it means well hung, and it was used. And apparently it was used by the British comedian Dawn French in January 1994. So there you go.
That's after my time. You know, for me, comedians are two Ronnies.
Yeah.
Molly Sugden.
Who was Molly Sugden?
Mrs. Slocum.
Oh, Mrs. Slocum, yes.
Now, believe it or not, since they cancelled the cable here, I've been using Fire TV. I found an entire series called That's My Boy that was broadcast on ITV from 81 until 86.
Okay.
And it's basically the same character on ITV.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of it.
Oh, indeed.
What was that TV show called that had Ronnie Corbett in, where he was living with his mum and dad?
Sorry.
Ah, yes.
Sorry. Yeah. Because now, again, not my claim to fame, but my father went to the same school as Ronnie Corbett, but in a year younger. Because Ronnie Corbett is, of course, Scottish. Ronnie Barker, English.
Oh, I didn't know Ronnie Corbett was Scottish.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, I suppose I'd never thought about it. He's not.
The accent.
Oh well, I guess so. It never occurred to me.
So,
Lyland Scott sweater on the big chair.
I suppose now when I think about it, yeah, he was Scottish. Wasn't he? He was very Scottish.
So just to go back,
it never occurred to me.
Go ahead, Nick.
Just to go back a step, Molly Sugden, Mrs. Slocum, Are You Being Served?
Yes.
Now, I've spoke to people about this before, and there was sort of a sequel to Are You Being Served called Grace and Favor. Do you remember that?
Well, I don't remember, but I did research because I got back into the whole series. Now, bearing in mind, okay, full disclosure, 2019, had to go back to Scotland because father passed away. Mother passed away 2016. Had to go back there to deal with all that shit. And in doing so, I found a lot of materials, one of which was my father's connection to Ronnie Corbett. Watched all of Two Ronnies and then thought, okay, what else was from that period? Molly Sugden, blah, blah, blah. And I even forgot your question. I do apologize for this. But the fact of the matter is, I do have a connection to all of these shows, and Nick has disappeared. So
no, I'm still here. I'm still
here. Okay.
I just wearing pajama bottoms and adjusting myself on camera would be considered.
Do not expose your appendage on camera. No, but I'm
sorry to be so graphically honest, but I had to.
And in answer to your question, yes, I am very much familiar with the old times of late 70s, early 80s, and all those shows. And he's gone again. He's wanking off.
this
having a
time
wank. Okay.
This time I had to get up and close the door because the cat, he's only 1 year old, but he barges through the door like he's a lion, and this house is bloody cold. So,
but Nick, I do apologize. What was your question?
It was just, do you remember Grace and Favor? I think in the States it was called Are You Being Served Again?
Yes. Very poor quality show. I watched, I think, maybe 2 episodes. It was not the same. And bearing in mind, you have to remember, what makes those shows so funny is the fact that in 2023, it's so wrong, right? That is where the humor lies. Now, I've been watching on the Fire TV a show called That's My Boy with Molly Sugden, who was Mrs. Slocum. But already in that show, I've heard references to poofs, to blacks, etc. Right?
Right.
Okay. Today it's not supposed to be funny, but my mind, it's still funny. So I will still enjoy those shows, right? Even though it's not correct.
Yeah, but I mean, I listened to. It was only a couple of months ago. On Spotify, I realized Jim Davison had a load of his stand-ups on there as audio.
Chalky.
Now I grew up in and I mean I grew up in a house where my mum and dad were big Jim Davison fans, so there was always Jim Davison VHSs there,
right?
And I listened back to them, and would they be considered okay today? No. But were they funny if you don't think outside of the context of the time it was made? Yes, they were. And also, like anything, I mean, Jim Davison, if you listen to him speak now, a lot of people have gone, he's a racist. He's not at all. It's a product of its time. You just have to I try not to look back on the past and take offense from comedy of the past, because the past is the past. The present is the present. You know, I grew up around that stuff. I've got a different viewpoint to probably someone 20 years younger than me, but it just is what it is.
Of course it is. And just to address Seth, yes, a nice Iron Maiden live stream. I made my favorite track list ready anytime. Count me in. Yep, Seth, I will message you and we can do this, because my vision is to do a live stream where we get 4, maybe 5 people on to pick their ultimate Iron Maiden set list. And that includes opening tape, pyro, etc., breaks in the set for the talking, quick giveaway. For me, the encore has to be Aces High, with Churchill's speech first. Therefore, the audience get 2 openings for the price of 1.
Fair enough. Now, when you say about this set list, is this a set list that we would like to see, or that we think would be the ultimate set list for other people to see?
Your ultimate set list.
Okay, yeah.
So you have to think about this theatrically. What is the ultimate opener? Second song. And then from second, you maybe have 3 to 7 can be pretty much anything. Then you have to have the big song. 8 to 9, okay, whatever. 9 is a big one. 10, really big. 11, really big. 12, whoa, ultimate ender. And then, but you have to design it with pyro in mind, right? It's not that easy.
No, that's not that easy. I mean, I could definitely think of a set list, but I think I'm not sure if it would be a crowd pleaser, but it would be a Monkey Boy pleaser.
Oh, really? And what's that like? let me think about this. It's all Blaze Bailey songs.
No. Although actually, one of the songs in the
The
set list
Sign of the Cross.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, me
like
too.
that.
I do indeed. Also, as well, The Klansman. Now, funnily enough, The Klansman was a very controversial song for me.
Right.
Not from me. Mrs. 88 version 1 was very, I mean, I guess in today's terms, she was very woke.
Okay.
And she thought The Klansman.
Oh, I see
meant,
where you're going.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
You stupid bird. You know what I mean? Right? So, yeah. But anyway, let's get back on track with some great toy memories because...
So, yeah, you got me totally thinking...
About what?
About a set then, and I was just thinking the song I would pick to open that after the Churchill bit would probably upset everyone.
From Iron Maiden?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, Nick. I'm guessing opening song, From Here to Eternity, which is...
I'm going to save it for the stream, man.
Which, honestly, okay, in terms of Iron Maiden singles, From Here to Eternity is the absolute worst. Agreed or not?
It's not great. It's not great.
It's not good at all, is it?
I mean,
I
don't hate it, but
the first time I ever really gave Iron Maiden any listening or any real sort of, I was aware of them was probably nearly 20 years ago when they headlined at Reading Festival, and I was blown away. I was just like, oh damn, man, do you know what I mean?
Oh, hang on 1 second. 20 years ago is 2003.
It's around then, yeah.
Oi. Oof. That is, hang on. 2003 is your first experience.
I was aware of them. I'd heard their songs. I could have named popular songs, but
you never saw 2002 back to 1980.
No, age was a bit prohibitive for me then because I was a bit younger.
Of course it was. I mean, also as well, my age, I never really saw Maiden until like 88, which was the Maiden England VHS videotape.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first exposure. I'm like, fucking hell, this is the best thing I ever saw. Because bearing in mind, Maiden England was based on the Seventh Son album, and the stage was very white, and therefore the video was very clear to see everything in shot. Because a lot of concert videos are very much filmed in the dark. Yeah. You can't see for shit. But Maiden England was the ultimate video, in my opinion. So therefore, I believe that... So in your case, 89 or 90 was what, Nick?
What in 89? Well, in 89, I would have been 4.
So you would not have seen Maiden England?
No.
So what year did you first see Iron Maiden?
Around 2003 was when I first saw them. That was my first sort of shot at freedom. My first, because I'm 39 now, so I was around 18, 19 when I first saw them.
So when you saw Maiden, where did Metallica factor into this equation?
Where did they factor in? Sort of how did I like them?
Yeah, like I mean, basically, 89. You are now what? 6, 7 years old?
89, I'm 4 years old. 1990, I was born in 84, so late 89, I was 4. So 19 into 1994, turning 5.
And you saw Maiden and Metallica?
No, I didn't. I didn't see Maiden until 2003, around that period.
And what age were you?
Around 18 or 19 when I
18,
saw Maiden.
okay. 18 years old. So 18 years old, you see Iron Maiden, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer. Where does your mind go to?
Which one would I pick?
Yeah.
Out of my favourite?
Yeah.
Given that out of all those bands you've just listed, I've only seen Iron Maiden live.
Right.
And
okay.
Iron Maiden absolutely blew my fucking mind as to how good they were. I have to say Iron Maiden. Excuse the profanity.
And no, absolutely. And just to recap, what year was this?
Around 2003.
So 2003 may have been the Dance of Death album. Yeah.
I tell you what I'm going to do for when we do this stream, because I could be off by a year or so.
Of course.
I will look up the year they played Reading, that I was there, and I guarantee I can bring up the set list. I'll be able to look back on what the set list was, and I can... Because I'm going to be honest with you, Dean, I was quite drunk.
Of course.
And I was probably enjoying the fruits of life at the time. So
in my estimation, this may have been the Dance of Death album, which was 2003-ish. But Metallica, I'm trying to think what they did at that time. I really don't remember.
Yeah, so I just doing what I always do, because I have my phones. Dance of Death was definitely 2003. So there's every chance that would have been predominantly what they played. Although, to be fair, I say that when they came out, they did say we're mainly playing classics tonight. I remember Bruce Dickinson saying that.
You know what, Nick? I got you. Maiden did new album tour. Next tour, classic tour. New album tour. So you saw Maiden when they were doing the first 2 albums, classic tour.
I would imagine so.
You probably saw them doing the best songs ever.
Yeah, it was all the I can remember them coming out and doing like the Trooper and like the big runs on stage and like a giant Eddie, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And I can remember my friend vomiting on my shoes, and I was just like, oh that's great, Ryan. Thank you.
Now I have to ask a question. So here we are in 2023, and I am a very much old school bastard. I am your grandfather. Things were better in my day, right? So, in saying that, I've embraced a couple of new bands, one being Volbeat and one being Ghost. Do you guys have any opinion on those bands?
I've only listened to them because you've mentioned them before, Dean. I had never heard of Volbeat, and I wasn't aware of Ghost. I've only listened to them since I've known you. Just to familiarize myself with what they were like, because I'd never come across them before.
But
they did Still Counting, right? Yeah.
Still Counting, yeah. Counting all the assholes in the room. Yeah.
Pretty cool from what I've heard. The brief bit I've heard.
From what you've heard, but it's hard for me to go forwards with my music, because for me, the best stuff is very much in the past. It really is. And I suspect there may be a couple of good songs happen now and will carry forward. But for the most part, everything good is in the past. Am I wrong?
No.
No?
I think it depends on what bands you're talking about. I mean, I haven't heard anything from Iron Maiden's past probably Virtual 11 album. I haven't heard anything past that because at that point I was like, no, I'm done, and that was it for me.
Yeah.
So they could well have done some good stuff. I really don't know what their newer stuff is like.
And you know what? You're right, because Megadeth's last album was full on speed metal. But you know what? I didn't really enjoy it. It was very forced sounding.
See,
right.
Do you to change bands to say about things? I've just had to look at the date.
Yeah.
So have I mentioned to you before, Dean? I'm a big Motorhead fan, like ridiculously big Motorhead fan.
You said Motorhead?
Yeah, I love Motorhead. I'm like actually adored in Motorhead Inc.
Nick, give me 1 second, man.
Gotta love Motorhead.
What's gonna happen?
What are you drinking there, monkey? What are you drinking there?
Sherry. I'm an old man. Sherry.
Oh, I've run out of beer. I'm on Coke
Motorhead,
Zero now.
you say? Motorhead. There's Phil Campbell's signed pick, and there's the whole thing.
Now,
what?
Nice.
Now, that is beautiful. I have a signed Motorhead skin in that room behind me there with Mickey D, Phil Campbell, and Lemmy on it.
Yes.
I have a signed Filthy Phil, the Animal Tailor program from the tour he got fired from when he came back.
Yeah.
I have one of Lemmy's picks that I caught at a gig. And I have a Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons pick because when my band played a small music festival, they were the band Before the Darkness, and I got to go backstage with them, and it was awesome.
Yes. So, yeah. Nick, you and I are big Motorhead fans, correct?
Just a touch, mate. Just a touch.
I don't have tattoos. So also as well, my ultimate
little bit.
Yeah, there we go. Warpig. My ultimate Lemmy story is this. When I met Lemmy, I assumed he was a tobacco whiskey scented individual. Right? No, his cologne was intoxicating. He smelled delicious. And when I met Lemmy, I'm like, my first thought was, oh, you smell good. I did not expect that. So you are a big Motorhead fan, correct?
I am indeed.
What is your ultimate band?
My ultimate band?
Yes.
Ever? What, like just my favorite band ever? Or if I could put a band together?
Ever.
Well, it's probably Motorhead with a close Thin Lizzy second.
Full lineup. We have a big dilemma right here because we have the potential to make a virtual YouTube band, right? Is that correct?
I mean, I'm a bass player.
When you say bass, do you play Lemmy bass or David Ellefson bass?
I can play good old traditional 12 bar, or I can absolutely fucking thrash it like Lemmy. Whatever one you want.
And Dave, what do you do?
Well, I play drums very badly, but I was the vocalist in both my bands. So
oh, good Lord. So we have a dilemma right here. This is fizzing on my hands. We have musicians in the room who all enjoy the 80s. Okay, Dave and Nick, my question. Duran Duran, yes or no?
Yes.
No, sorry.
Oh,
sorry, Dean.
Spandau.
I mean, I don't hate them. I mean,
Spandau. Oh my God, I love Spandau Ballet, and I'm not going to do it now. But my missus says I do a brilliant Tony Hadley.
True.
I generally don't like pop music of any kind. So.
You know this much is
true.
I can't do it here because I'm not warmed up.
Okay, I hear you, man. Hang on, but wait a minute though. Now, bearing in mind, I have just sold all my music gear on eBay. I am at a complete loss. Give me 2, maybe 3 months to get set up in Thailand. But fuck me, we have the 80s toy fans music tribute band, right?
Yes.
Fuck me, that would be the best thing ever.
All I ask is if we do a Spandau song.
Yeah.
If we do a Spandau song, can we do chant number 1? Because I think the bass line in that is absolutely sick.
No, you know what? I know the song, but okay. Here's my question to you, Nick. When it comes to 80s bass lines, how do you feel about Kajagoogoo, Too Shy? With those triad, boom, boom, right? Yes.
I have said for years that the 80s produced some of the best bass lines ever.
There we go. Fist bump. No, seriously, because
I don't play as well as their bass player. I'm telling you that now. I can play. I'm steady, but I don't play.
And that was, I believe, Nick Beggs. Is that right?
I'd have to look it up. I'm not so good with musician names for bands.
Yeah. But that song's bass line, like, first of all, they have this like weird, like kind of triad, like and slide, like but then it's like slapping and picking. I can't do that shit. Here's the thing though. People say to me, "Oh, dude, you do music?" No, I don't do music. I play music, but I am not a musician. I can play drums, I can play guitar, I can play bass, I can play keyboard. I am not a keyboardist. I'm not a guitarist. I'm not a drummer. I'm not a bassist. I just try what I do. But if we could make on YouTube an 80s band, right? Correct?
Yeah. Why not?
Dave?
Well, I'm not sure there's much space for kind of death metal noises in an 80s band, sadly.
Hang on a minute. Don't you perform every week in church?
I play drums every week, yeah, but
drummer?
Very basically.
Huh?
Very basic. It's not particularly accomplished. I mean, it's church hymns, for goodness sake.
I know church. Now, here's the thing as well. I have followed my old church in Scotland on YouTube. They broadcast their goddamn service. Goddamn. They share their services on YouTube. And I watched it, and the sad part is I see people I knew from like 1985, 86. I'm like, oh my God, this is like step back in time. But we need to make
Kylie Minogue.
Wait a minute, son.
You said step back in time. That's a Kylie Minogue song. I've got to say, I love Kylie Minogue. So
I know.
What can I say?
I thought it, but Nick said it.
But Nick, I'll tell you what, though. My basis is, my low end is Duran Duran. Then we go to, hang on, wait. Duran Duran, Bon Jovi is below Duran Duran. Duran Duran, Metallica, Anthrax, Megadeth, Slayer, Pantera, blah, blah, blah. My basis is very much hardcore Pantera, Metallica sounds. But if we can somehow conspire between the three of us and others who wish to enjoy, to make a sound that could replicate the 80s with a heavier tone, I'm all for that, right?
Can I have a bass solo like in Got the Time in Anthrax?
Yeah, but
wow.
Here's the thing, though. And this, because you know what, Nick, you have name dropped. I will name drop. I have hung out with Frankie Bello 1,000,000 times in New York, right?
Yeah, man.
But Nick, he is he is ultimately the coolest guy ever I met in the whole scene. Because, okay, this sounds terrible, and I admit it does. When you live in New York, you can meet all these guys, and I pretty much did. But Frankie Bello is the coolest guy ever. He has no pretensions whatsoever, right? But his bass solo in Got the Time is fucking awesome, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Can you replicate
I've learnt that bass line before, so yeah.
picking? Bam, 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 bam. Yeah.
I can do it to the best of my ability. I learned it. I remember sitting in the front room when I got my new Sonic 8 pedal, which had like all different effects on it, so I could get that really nice sharp. Bow. I'll tell you something. You said about slides on bass.
Yeah.
In my old band, they used to can I use bad language? I can,
of course,
can't I?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so they used to call me the bass wanker, and I'll tell you why. And it's not because they thought I was a wanker. It's because when I used to slide, the way I used to slide down the neck, I used to do that. So I used to call me the bass wanker.
My question is, though, to become a bass wanker, right? Did you ever play guitar before?
I've only ever played bass.
Right. So, okay. Who was your first ever bass hero?
First ever bass hero. First ever. Was it Matey from Queen? John Deacon, isn't it?
John Dickey. Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, because I grew up in a house where my dad. My dad's house is a shrine to Queen. You walk in there and it's just like Queen all up the hallway wall, Queen in the hallway, Queen in the front room, commemorative stuff. But his style is not really my style. Yeah. But I've covered quite a few of his songs, and then I probably moved on to Phil Lynott or Lynott, however you want to say it, because I loved his style. I was never really one for slap bass. I've only ever performed 2 slap bass songs because it's not a style I really get along with. And then Motorhead blew my mind, and I was like, "That's it! I can rip power chords on bass, basically."
So Nick, in terms of your bass legends, we have Deacon of Queen, and then
I think Frank Bello's pretty bloody up there, though. To be fair.
Oh, really, Frank Bello? Okay. Now, what about this? What if I go take a quick wee and have you and Monkey Boy share some screen time? Is that okay? I have to. I'm so sorry. I have to piss so bad, and I feel terrible about this. But
I still haven't been from last time, so
okay. I will be right back. Okay, if I can get this goddamn thing to. Oh fuck me! That's me on big screen. You know what? Fuck it. I will take a piss. Please talk amongst yourselves. Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Are you laughing at me?
No, I'm laughing because I'm enjoying the stream. That's all it is.
And Nick, I tell you what, man, I love this because I have so much to share visually with you because you are basically the same fan as I am. So, I will be right back.
Don't take the laughter as laughter at you. It's laughing because I'm having fun.
Yeah. Let me if I can solo this somehow. What the fuck it? Okay. See you soon.
Hey, it's just us.
Hello.
Cool.
You got anything else from that Dixon? Sorry.
You never played any guitar then? You've just always done bass?
I can play power chords on guitar.
That's all I can do.
You know, I learnt enough guitar with power chords so that if I needed to, in the early days, I could pick up a guitar, stick on distortion, hit some power chords, and I could say to the guitarist coming, "I've had this idea. Can you make it sound less shit?" And decent.
That's
Do you know
exactly
what I mean?
what I did with my first band. I was hearing all these songs in my head, and I wanted to get them out somehow, but I couldn't play anything. So I went and bought a cheap second-hand bass guitar, and then I advertised for a guitarist and a bass player, and I did what you've just said. I played them the basic stuff on a bass and said, look, this is kind of these are the notes, this is the timing, but can you play it properly? And they would like, do you mean this? And then they would play it, and I'd say, yes, that's what, I was trying to get these songs out of my head that I could hear. And
I
once I
found
taught them
if
to a bass player and a guitarist, I then played the drums, because I didn't need to play the bass or guitar anymore. And then I did the same thing with the drummer, found a drummer who could play properly. And I was like, this is basically what I want. And they did it better. And that's how I ended up being the singer in my bands. It was just by default, because
so
there was nothing else for me to do.
I couldn't play drums, but I could program drums on a basic drum program. So I could come up with a
Right.
drum beat. I
Right.
could, because I understand drums completely. I just, for whatever reason, I just don't. I can do like a simple 4/4, like dum, 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 but I can't.
Yeah.
I've never invested the time into it, so I could program a drum beat, and I could, with power chords and distortion, come up with a guitar riff, and then I'd add the bass line, and with that I could then feasibly go to people and say, look, this obviously isn't the finished article because I'm shite at these instruments, but this is where I'm aiming. And it was exactly that, get other musicians involved. But I found the thing that improved my bass playing hands down was joining a covers band, because I had to learn so many different styles, and I had to learn songs that I may never have, because in a covers band, if you're doing 30 songs in a night, you can probably guarantee 10 of them aren't songs you would pick to play,
Right. Yeah.
but they're crowd pleasers and you've got to do them.
Yeah.
But my way of playing bass has always been the same: get the basics down, no pun intended, to get the basics down. Once we've got the basics down, start adding the fills. Once the fills are added and you've played it a few times, then you start to make it your own. Do you know what I mean? If you're doing a cover.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I would do. But now Dean is back. I'm really sorry, chaps. I'm going to nip off for about 30 seconds like Dean's just done, because I said last time Dean went for a wee, I need a wee, and I haven't been yet.
No worries. I'm not sure if
I'll
Dean's
be right
mic's on,
back.
but yeah, go for it. Are you with us, Dean? I can't hear you, Dean. Can't hear you, Dean.
Dave, do you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you now. Yep.
Okay, awesome. So we have the makings of an 80s band cover type thing or whatever. I have no idea. But I will say this. So since having been denied the power of cable TV, and we bought our own Fire TV, I have seen a lot of great 80s videos on the Freevee type thing. And I got to be honest with you, I honestly believe, in my honest opinion, that the 80s had the best sounds ever. Am I wrong?
I don't think anyone is ever wrong when it comes to a musical opinion.
No.
I don't think. I mean, if someone says they like a band, then that's great.
but
I
you know what?
don't think musical opinions are ever wrong.
But no. But you know what, Dave? No one ever bought the. So we had. You purchased Jingle Bells, correct?
Earlier today?
Earlier today, yes.
No. I voted for Bar Black Sheep.
But someone bought Jingle Bells, right?
I think so.
No
yeah.
one, no one purchased the other one, which is what? I have no idea.
I don't remember what the third one was.
Oh, fuck me. I'll play it anyway. If I can find it. Fucking hell. Where the hell is this shit? This is a quality live stream, gentlemen. Fucking hell. I'm looking at my sources here. What the fuck is this? Oh my god. We are denied all forces of monetization, but we have a comment come in. Fucking hell. What the hell is this? Right, hang on. Yes.
What are you doing, Dean? What's going on?
Dave, I have no idea. I'm going to be honest with you. What? Yes, they did the VR. They were wrong. Right. How can I play my unplayed video? Banners, perhaps, or brand. Let me give this a try.
I think if you go into brand, you can upload a video.
Nick, don't judge me, man. I'm
not judging it. There's no judgment on my part, man.
Right.
Never.
That's not working. Right. Banners. Right. Well, not there. Right. Okay. Banners. Hang on. Fucking hell. Where the fuck did I put these comments? Hang on. Wait. Earlier, I showed the videos people paid for, right?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second, people. Talk amongst yourselves, please.
So while you're talking, I'm going to tell Dave what my favorite Duran Duran song is, and it was the Wild Boys. Just something about that song.
Fantastic.
Okay. Yes, I am familiar with the song. Yeah.
Great song. And when MTV did that TV series with Steve and Chris Pontius years ago called The Wild Boys, I thought it was an absolute miss that they didn't use that song. I thought that for years. Random fact.
So, okay, I found it. So, we had a super chat from Dave, I believe, doing Jingle Bells. Someone purchased the Black Sheep. I think.
Yeah, that was me.
Black Sheep was Dave.
Yeah.
So we had Jingle Bells and Black Sheep, and no one purchased Staying Alive. I will purchase Staying Alive. This was me in 1978 singing Staying Alive. Here we go.
Staying alive, staying alive, staying alive.
That was me singing Staying Alive. How about that? Huh?
I didn't hear it.
Fuck off. Are you serious?
Yeah. I saw
think
again.
So StreamYard's doing a thing at I've noticed if I do a stream.
I'll do it again. Okay.
The audience will have heard, but I think
Staying alive, staying alive, staying alive.
Right. Did you hear that?
Twat, Dean. I think the audience probably heard.
Oh, fuck off.
Did you hear it, Nick?
Yeah, so StreamYard, I don't know why. Us in the studio don't tend to hear the music you play that well.
Because bearing in mind, the last stream I did was with me, Monkey Boy, and Tom of 80s Toy Fan, right? Oh. Monkey Boy looks stoned.
I always look stoned.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
That's how I look.
I got a message saying to me, your last stream was ineffective for advertisers. Therefore, we've reduced what goes out. So I thought I was very, very well behaved, but apparently not. And you know what? Fuck all those authorizers. You know what? I do what the fuck I want to do. And that's why I am somewhat on the edge. Right?
Keep it real, man. Just do your thing.
Man.
I keep it. Nick, I tell you what, though. I gotta be honest with you, man. I thought you were with all. I can't even talk right now. Nick, give me a fist bump. There we go. Cool. How the fuck does this happen, man? Right? Where are we in this? Because this laptop has died, right? Next question.
Technology.
Okay. Question from Nick or Dave? Proceed.
Oh.
Okay.
Nick.
If you could only listen to one 80s band again,
Yeah.
and you had, who would it be? Simplest question I can think up on the spot.
80s
One
band only. Oh, Duran Duran.
It's a good answer.
Dave?
Oh, you're gonna hate me.
Ooh.
It would probably be it'd probably be Michael Jackson.
Ooh. Now, is that bad or Thriller?
Yeah, either, yeah.
What?
I did
what?
like Michael Jackson.
Thriller or bad?
I think I'd lean towards Thriller of the two albums.
Me too.
Yeah,
Dave.
Oh, probably Thriller, but I really like Bad as well.
Oh, no.
I know.
I'll tell you what, though. Bad is awesome. It really is. Bad. And the one with the collar. Come on,
Off the
tell me.
Wall.
What?
What collar? What are you on about? The collar? Well, for the cover.
Collar on my favorite winter coat.
Oh, Man in the Mirror.
Yeah, there we go. I think Thriller wins, though. No? Nick?
What, band for the 80s?
No. Michael Jackson of the 80s. Thriller or Bad?
Thriller.
Thriller?
I'm going in with Thriller. I'm going deep with Thriller.
Come on, man.
I did like most Michael Jackson songs. I think Bad was the first album that I came across, which got me into him. And then I kind of went backwards. Then I got into Thriller. Then I got into Off the Wall, which is a great album. Off the Wall is fantastic.
Was like 70s, man.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So, Dave, what's the better song? I must admit, I am looking at the Thriller track listing.
Yes,
but I know all of them. But I'm going to say, what's the better song? PYT or Want to Be Starting
the
Something?
other one. Yes, that one.
Why? Fuck off! Come on, true answer, man.
Want to Be Starting Something's great. Pretty Young Thing is not.
No,
that's probably Pretty Young Thing is probably the weakest song on that album.
PYT?
Yeah.
Weak?
Yeah.
I gotta love you, PYT. That's a good song, man.
I mean, I didn't say it was a bad song, but I think it's the weakest one on the album.
Dave,
if you other than PYT, if you could erase one song from the Thriller album, what one would it be? And I know what one it would be for me personally. I can give you the track listing if it helps.
That's a difficult one. There's probably ones that I can't remember.
I'm going to tell you my controversial choice.
Right.
And it's Billie Jean, because I've heard it. If you had to erase one song, I'm not saying it's not a good song, but bear with me on my logic.
Go ahead.
I've heard that song so many times. So if
We
you
all
had a
have.
gun to my head and said you have to delete one song off this album, the song that I can remember clear as day in my head, okay, we'll take Billie Jean off then, because I can hear that in my head perfectly.
From the whole album.
Man, I mean, I was singing that a couple of days ago.
I want to love you, but the young thing. Billie Jean, really?
It's only, it's like if you said to me you have to erase one. Well, no, there's plenty of Motorhead. So, see, as a true fan, I believe you can all say songs you don't like.
Go ahead, please go ahead.
But like for Motorhead, if I could only pick like 5 Motorhead songs to ever hear again, Ace of Spades wouldn't be in that list. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Agreed.
I mean, it's a great song, it's a fantastic song, but it's like when Planet Rock plays Motorhead, you either get Bomber or Ace of Spades, and it's like, come on, man, they've got such a wide catalogue of decent songs, but you only ever pick those 2. But then probably my favourite Motorhead song is Iron Fist. I just love that song.
Oi! Are you serious?
Yep. And when when we saw him in Bournemouth and they started the set with Iron Fist, I was literally like screaming with excitement.
Nick, give me that one. Give me. Fucking hell. That is my Iron Maiden song, Iron Fist. Because I was in 82, I was 6 years old. I heard it on Radio 1. I loved it. I said to my mum, "Oh, I like it," and she bought me the album, Iron Fist.
Nice, great album.
If you are true,
vinyl, CD, and tape.
Wait. If you are true, you and I are soul brothers, man. Give me it, Iron Fist. That is my Iron Maiden song. Fucking hell, are you serious?
You mean Motorhead?
It's a winner.
Yeah, Motorhead. Nick, are you real?
Mate, I'm Motorhead. Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. Fucking hell. Fuck. That is my Iron Maiden. That is my Motorhead song. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious, because it's such an aggressive start to a song. It is just it's like if you said to me, this person's never heard of Motorhead before, and you have to pick one song that encapsulates everything Motorhead is, Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. Fucking
I'll have to listen to that later.
But bearing in mind, Iron Fist was like 82, I believe. Nick, correct?
Yeah, it was 82. Yeah, 82.
So I am 8 years old. I'm cognizant enough to understand music. Fucking hell, Iron Fist. Are you fucking serious?
That's serious.
No. Make no mistake. If I see you in person and we do the whole fist bump, Iron Fist.
Yeah, every time.
Okay. Gotcha, man. Iron Fist. That was my Iron Maiden song.
I feel left out because I don't know Iron Fist.
Oh!
If you heard it, man, you'd know it. The second you start the song, you'll know it. It's just, it's that charge on the. It's just
okay.
Maybe I do know it. Like we went to. Dean, have you ever been to Bournemouth BIC, the BIC?
No,
when you?
Of course not.
I just wondered because, like, in the when you was living in the UK, like, but
yeah,
we went and saw. So the first night we saw Motorhead at the BIC in Bournemouth, and the next night we went to see him in Hammersmith. But when they started at the gig at the BIC, they started with Iron Fist, and I was with my friend. lovely bloke, tattooist. Everyone thinks he's horrible because he's just literally, he looks evil, but he's the loveliest guy in the world. He's absolutely covered in ink. And we were just beside ourselves. But you couldn't have asked for a better start to the gig. And I think the pint I was holding, I lost most of it because I don't know, when I used to see Motorhead, I used to always get down in the front, right in the thick of it. I wanted to be deafened and crushed by the crowd. I don't know. I was just a bit madder when I was younger. I loved it.
But Nick, bearing in mind, I seen Motorhead in America so many times. I saw Nick with Mickey D, with Matt Sorum on drums. Right?
Oh yeah. I know why Matt Sorum stood in as well. It was a really weird story, but he stood in because Mickey D wanted to do the American equivalent, or the Swedish equivalent of "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here." So Matt Sorum stepped in.
I saw Motorhead in New York, and fucking Matt Sorum on drums, and they still did the Roadhouse Blues, right?
Oh no! Oh, Whorehouse Blues.
Whorehouse Blues. Nick, I apologize. Yes.
Whorehouse Blues. You don't need to apologize, man.
Go talk up. On stage, Phil Campbell, Matt Sorum on bass drum and harmonica, right? Correct? Mm-hmm. Lemmy on vocals and harmonica. I've seen Metallica, fuck off. I've seen Motorhead in all forms.
Nice.
But I tell you what, man. Lemmy is the ultimate rock god, right?
Yeah. No other rock star has ever died and made me walk into a tattoo shop the next day and get a commemorative memorial tattoo ever.
You were braver than me, man. You are,
Oh man, I remember the day he died. My wife came upstairs and she woke me up. She goes, "I've got something bad to tell you." And I thought she was going to tell me something like a relative or someone had died. And she told me something like, she was like, "Yeah, it's Lemmy's died." And I was fucking devastated, mate. I was like,
Nick, can I tell you a story?
Of course you can, man. It's your stream.
My mom died on December 28th, and we were on Staten Island with my wife's sister with us, and Lemmy died, and then I get the phone call from my dad in Scotland, and I knew it was coming, right? I knew it was coming. He says, "Son, I'm so sorry." So that date is my mom and Lemmy, right?
Sorry to hear that, man.
No, I appreciate. But that became a pretty special day, right? Both go to heaven. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's fuck me. It's kind of bizarre how things happen, but they happen for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is, we have people to share these stories with, right?
Absolutely.
You're nodding.
No, I agree, man. The stories are important to tell. They're how we document our past and how we remember the people we've lost and how we go forward.
That is what it's all about, because I tell you what, though, my stories mostly involve the past. I'm an old fucker. I mean, I try to document the joys I had opening these toys, playing with these toys in like what 1980, 81, 82, 83, 84. And you guys are the younger generation who saw some of that, right? But for the most part, my memories are very much in the past. And right now, I realize I am blabbling a lot of old man shit. So I will stop and let Monkey Boy continue, I hope.
Well, I was just
And
thinking,
maybe, and
there's
maybe,
probably about, there's, I
maybe
think
Nick
there's
will
6 years
continue,
between
but
me and Nick, and there's probably
what?
about 5 or 6 between you and I, Dean.
Yeah, really?
I think so. Something like
Are
that.
you sure?
Yeah, I think so.
No. So, Nick, tell me your biggest memory of your Christmas back in the old days.
So it was the year I got a Mega Drive. I got a Mega Drive computer console, and so to put into context, I'm only like 5'8", but my granddad was a giant of man. He was like 6'4", 6'5", big man, big man, and he liked to drink. My granddad, lovely soul, but he liked to drink, and he was ex-army, you know, rough as they come, building trade all his life. And I remember my mum losing her shit because granddad was supposed to be round for a certain time so we could all have Christmas dinner together. And I know I just laugh about it because I can remember my mum having to drive down to the working men's club to go and get my granddad because he'd chinned some younger kid in the club who'd been like being horrible to his girlfriend. And so they called, I think they called my auntie initially, but my auntie phoned my mum, and mum went and got granddad, and then granddad come in the house all full of Christmas cheer, pissed as a fart, as you would say. And he was just granddad. He was just lovely. And believe me, when he would have chinned that bloke in that working men's club, the bloke would have, it wouldn't have been for no reason, because my granddad was, he was very protective of women and children. And I just remember him being like, "What have you got there then, boy?" I was like, "Oh, I've got a Mega Drive." He goes, I can remember him saying something along the lines of, "I don't know what that shit is, but if it makes you happy, good." It's just, do you know what I mean?
Excellent.
Just miss him, mate. He was just fun. He was just funny. Do you know what I mean? Just one of those people.
Oh, that's cool.
Just have you got any like Christmas memories, or because that's not a conventional fun memory? That's just oh, my granddad, he was a nutter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I don't think anything really stands out, to be fair. I mean, and that sounds like all my Christmases must have been shit, but they weren't. They were great, but I don't think any one thing's kind of really stands out as such. What I remember most about Christmas was I would get up, I could open anything that was in my stocking, I could open that before lunch, but then all the other presents we waited until after lunch before we had them. So we'd have a late Christmas lunch, and then we would watch the Queen's speech, and then we would start to open presents. So my present opening on a Christmas didn't start until about 3 o'clock or whenever the Queen had finished doing her thing. So that's my one memory really, is waking up with that excitement, opening a few bits that were in my stocking, and then just being really, not anxious, but really like antsy all day because I really wanted to I could see the presents under the tree and I wanted to open them, but I had to wait until after lunch and after the Queen had finished doing her bit. So that's my one sort of overriding memory, really.
Doing our bit.
I think I sort of I look back now, see another memory I have of one Christmas. In fact, I think on the All Things 80s Facebook page a few years ago, I think I tagged Dean on it, or I tagged Dean because I remember it was I found when The Empire Strikes Back was on ITV. I found the old ITV listings from years ago, and
cool.
so each year at around about 3-4 o'clock on Christmas Eve, I try and watch The Empire Strikes Back because that's my earliest memory of Star Wars.
Oh, cool.
Hey,
And
travel.
I've got it.
Right. Jason is here.
Hey, Jason.
Jason, if you're watching, join in, please.
All these crazy memories of Christmas is gone and the things, you know, because I mean even Christmas is different now because you know, as the years go by and families expand, obviously with my wife now, and you know, little things like her nan not being around anymore, so the dynamic changes every year as you get older. So I think that's why I like to look back at sort of Christmas and memories of old, because you know, let's face it, I think we all to a degree hanker back to the good times, don't we, and the things that
of course
made us and the things we enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that the present can't be good and we don't enjoy the now, but there's a lot to be said for that feeling of nostalgia, isn't there?
Yeah,
of course.
Or at least I believe so.
No, I believe so. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm just looking for something on my phone. So excuse me, eyes down.
No, if you find it, please bring it up.
Absolutely. I'm just looking for it now, but I don't know if either of you guys.
That's their job. No.
I don't know if either of you guys remember your favorite Christmas present you ever got, if there is one that you recall, or that really
but perhaps
stands out to you.
I remember getting a racing bike one year that was I'd been wanting one for absolutely ages, and I finally got one when I moved house. My parents got me a racing bike, and I wanted one for the longest time, so I remember being really, really happy about that.
Sorry.
Want to type that? You know what? Everyone watching this, fuck me, for 99 cents, you can get the last ever super chat, which is me singing "Staying Alive" in 1978. Fuck me, what a treat, right? You know what? Hang on. Dave? Alive?
Staying alive.
I think
Nick? Alive?
100% alive and kicking.
Wow.
100%.
I see this stream kind of dead. So what can we do to make this more alive? Because bearing in mind, I have consumed a buttload of beer and fuck off. You know what? I hate this.
I think you're holding up well, man. I mean,
really?
I think it's been a fun stream. Yeah, I think it's been a fun stream. I've never been on one of your streams before, and I've thoroughly enjoyed. Enjoying it.
I feel like I am pissing against the thunder. So if we can go up,
how many have we got still watching? There's still quite
I
a
have
few
no
people.
idea. I have no idea because my
I can
laptop has died.
20. There's 26 people in the chat still. So
I'll tell you what, though, I do enjoy the company of Dave and Nick.
thank
Good
you.
guys.
You too, man.
Yeah, that's good.
For
man.
real?
That's good.
Are you
course.
for serious? Because
course,
I'll tell
man.
you what, though, I am fucking drunk as a skunk. Skunk. I
That's
can't
all right.
even say. I can't even skay. I can't even skay skunk. There we go. That is how Mao Mac Mac, and that is Thai language for you right there. So
And what did that mean?
Dave, Nick, hang on my screen right here. Are you guys still live?
Yeah, we're still here.
Give me a
Still
sign.
present.
So,
Yeah, man.
are you ashamed?
Ashamed of
Of
what?
what?
Me being fucking wasted
No,
I'm
on
man.
lives?
I've been fucking wasted plenty of times in my life. You're still cordial, you're still polite, you're still respectful. I have no problem if you have a belly full of beer, mate. As long as you're happy.
Now, even right now, I'm ashamed to say, are you called Nick?
I am definitely called Nick.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Okay, Nick. Phew. I am ashamed to say I am on live, on air, and being fucking wasted, right? That's not a good look, right? Correct?
Did you want it? It's look, we're all here, we're all friends, it's all good. Do you want to carry on? Do you want to end it? It's whatever you want to do,
No,
Dean.
I want to carry on. But the fact is, okay, let's stop the live stream, but can we still talk?
100%.
Yeah, we can do that.
Fucking hell. Wait, can we talk? Fucking hell, I'm fucking done. But let me. Oh, Dave! Oh, hilarious! Fuck
It's
me.
all good, man. It's all good.
No, it's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good, man. Attorney at law.
So shall we wrap? I mean, it's your stream, Dean, but shall we
No.
wrap this one up, mate?
Nick, please hold. Please stand by. We will do the after live chat. What the fuck is chat? Okay.
All right,
Dave
Dean. Well,
does
if
a-
we wrap the stream up, and
Dave
we'll
does
we'll
a-
hang around afterwards.
Yes, Dave, Nick, can you stand by?
Yep.
100%, man.
Absolutely.
I do apologize. Hang on. So hang on.
All right.
End
It's all
stream.
good.
Right. Fucking
See you
Bye,
later,
hell.
guys.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a
for
safe
stopping
one.
by.
Thanks for joining us.
Right.
See you
hang on.
later.
End. Right.
We're still going, Dean.
I know. Hang on. End stream. Stop. End stream. Stop.